Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Dynasty Startup Draft of the year with the land community. It's been an absolute ball getting into some drafts with y'all this year, and this just happens to be the last one because all of our time and attention and effort is really starting to be taken up by the redraft side of things. But we wanted to have one last startup draft for you guys, one last opportunity, to look at the dynasty startups. And, has training camp changed people's opinions of any players? We'll certainly find out here. If you want to know where all of our time and effort is, both for myself and Sammy, it will be on like the redraft side of things. I just dropped my strategy video today, which is awesome. So it's like whenever that video drops, I just know we're full force into redraft season. And obviously Sammy is dropping content over there as well. Sam, it's good to be here with you. We are drafting collectively for somebody. What draft spot do we have tonight?
We're drafting out of the 3 hole today.
Okay. Right out of the 3 spot here for Joe. Sammy and I will collectively draft together. But this is a super flex. Start 10. There is a tight end premium. And Dynasty 3rd round reversal as well. So we are gonna jump in here. But any words of wisdom, Sammy, to depart the people with here as we're about to jump in to our last, it's a little bit of a passing of the torch, if you will.
It's always bittersweet when the dynasty season comes to an end, but it's July 27th. We'll be in Austin for the Flock League in 2 weeks. It's redraft season is here, and we're getting on board. So Godspeed to everybody in the draft for our final startup of the offseason.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody who's here with us, like Contreras, Ro Bowers, Kraken, Thomas, Matt, Casey Chiefs, InSyncs, Acela Motive, Rowan, our commissioner here, WLH. Appreciate y'all. All these guys are promo code LAND members. So let's make this a great last draft. I'm actually going to show you guys a feature I released on landleagues.com. This was a feature you guys widely requested. I've got a lot of real fantasy draft ADP there now, but if you go to Dynasty Startup ADP and you go to Draft Board, you can track ADP in real time. So, for example, who just went off the board? Bijan Robinson. So I can actually mark off what players are taken in real time. This is something that you guys requested, and it took me like 10 minutes to build it into the tool. So shout out to technology. So we're going to use that, I'm sure, today as we see if there's any fallers or clear values or if we're reaching on a player, etc. Bijan off the board at the 101 here, Sammy. No surprise. Feels like Bijan, for some reason, is typically the first running back off the board in Dynasty. But in redraft, it's always Bijan. What's the or it's always Gibbs, sorry. What's the disconnect there, do you think?
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just like he's more like he's a more built up. He's like a bigger guy. Gibbs is maybe like a little more slender, a little more speed focused kind of thing. Now I don't think that's the correct way to look at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, this is, you're shooting fish in the ocean here. You can take whoever you like.
That's a great callback there. Guys, appreciate y'all being here with us. I see in the chat, what's up, Henry D Macy? 44 days until kickoff, he says. Which,
oh heck yeah,
dude, 44 days is crazy. I mean, when does preseason start? That's got to be soon. Like, when is the Hall of Fame game?
I think I saw the Hall of Fame game is the 8th.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah,
preseason will be right after that because there's like 4. There's 3 weeks of preseason this year.
Thursday, August 6th.
6th is
Wow.
So that's not this week. That's next week.
That's actually the day I land in Austin.
By the way.
That's crazy.
Oh heck yeah, dude! Hit up a Chili's for watch the game.
Yeah. Actually, I land at like 11:50 p.m. So, the game will probably be done.
They might still be open.
Yeah. Big trade just went down. It looks like, and Rowan can let us know if there's any draft picks involved here, but it looks like Ro Bowers is moving back from the 2 to the 8, moving back from the 3 to the moving up in the 3rd, and then swapping his 7th for a 5th,
Mm.
which I don't mind that trade either way for
I
these
mean,
guys.
yeah, I think if there's a guy you really believe in at the 1-2, perfectly fine to make that move. I also think for Roe Bowers, like the tier for me at the top is 8 guys. So I think that this makes a ton of sense moving down to 8, getting,
Yeah.
2.5 rounds from the 7th to the 5th, also moving up in the 3rd. I like it.
Okay, so I have the official draft, the official trade screenshot. Let's have a geese here real fast, Sammy. So it is no future capital involved here. It's just straight startup picks. So
Mm-hmm.
again, Bowers moves from the 102 to the 108, moves up in the 3rd, and moves up from the 711 to the 505. Look, really hard to get one of those top assets here in those top 2 picks. But overall, I think I like more the idea of moving up from the 711 to the 5th round than I do moving up here, oddly enough. I don't know if that's. Oh, let's see how it plays out. But when you bring
Yeah.
a Jameer Gibbs on board and you don't have to spend any additional future draft capital to do so, that's not exactly a bad outcome for someone either.
No, no, I completely agree. I mean, yeah, you don't lose a pick, which is nice. But I got a feeling. I mean, Roe Bowers might do something crazy, and in that case, I might
Yes.
change my tune. But
Uh,
this is the kind of move I would
what
want to
what are
make
you
for sure.
thinking here? We're at the 3 spot.
Oh yeah, we're on the clock. I'm
Yep,
tripping.
we're at the 3 spot
Um,
here.
so we go quarterback or wide receiver. I think it would be the same. We know who those two guys would be. I
Yeah,
think.
I lean
Where
going
do you
Chase
lean?
here. I don't know if you have a different opinion, but
No, I'm good with that.
so we're gonna take Jamar Chase off the board. No surprise. We like to see how far those quarterbacks can get pushed down the board in these startups this year. So
Yeah.
typically, if you are a part of the movement as well, I've noticed in drafts, then the movement is strong. Speaking of, I watched a movie over the weekend called Dumb Money. Have you ever watched Dumb Money?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it though.
It's about the GameStop stock situation.
Oh, with Seth Rogen?
Yes, Seth Rogen's in it.
I need to watch that. I want to see that.
So
That
I
seems
almost
lit.
feel like pushing quarterbacks in a startup is like the equivalent of like holding GameStop when all of the big money people are betting on it to short, if that makes sense. It's like, no, hold the line. But appreciate y'all being here. Jonah's in the chat. Lady Ballin says RIP Alec Pierce. Alec will be fine. I think he'll be ready to go week 1, but
Yeah, we need to not we can't overreact to
yeah.
training camp pup. Tucker Craft also got put on training camp pup.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that they will be on the pup to start the year, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
What's up, Wyatt? Welcome in. What's up, Trevor? What's up, Randy? We got Scribbles here. Dweeb. Last Action says, it's been a day, fellas. Fantasy drafted is the best medicine. Hey, man. Hopefully it was a good day. Hopefully it wasn't a bad day. What's up, Wild Dog? This is Wild Dog's new account. His other one was hacked. We don't know what was going on. We have no idea. So
Uh,
welcome, Wild Dog. Hopefully this account is going to be safe and secure.
I still think it was
appreciate
just
you
his
being-
son. I'm still convinced it was just his son that got a hold of it.
I still have no idea what was going on. So I'm just glad for his sake that, he's back and backing at it. What's up, Tyler's welcome in. Mike is in the building. What's up, Connor? Welcome in. Appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button today to show some love to the stream. And let us know you're here. Let us know who we're hanging out with here. Daniel's off the board at the 108 here.
Yeah. So, I mean, you move down and then you get Jaden Daniels. Like I like what Roe Bowers did here.
I'm going to
do.
confirm what the exact premium is in this league. It's either a 0.5, 0.75. I doubt it's a full point. But let's see what Rowan says here. Rowan, by the way, picking at the 11 spot. Ginty goes off the board at the 109. Okay, so Wyatt says it is a 0.5 tight end premium.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Lord scoring setting.
Yeah.
I think why is do you think Do you think Titan Premium is so much more popular in Dynasty over Redraft because like the more hardcore people are playing Dynasty and therefore they're more open to non-standard
Could
settings?
be.
Like, could do you know?
Yeah, I think like because if you're playing dynasty football, it's likely your favorite hobby in the world, which
Yeah.
which means you're probably open to like playing in a lot of different leagues and trying different settings and switching things up. But I don't foresee Titan Premium ever becoming normal in the redraft space. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, I don't think it will.
uh,
I think that it's and that makes me think like why is it so normalized in
I mean,
Dynasty then?
logistically,
But
it
I
does
mean,
make sense though. Um,
depends on it depends on what you're trying to achieve,
yeah,
right? Like if you're trying to make more players relevant,
yeah.
then yeah. Um, but some people don't want that.
Okay, JSN goes at the 107. Someone asked why the dip on JSN. I don't feel like this is a dip on him,
I mean, you
but
got top 7 pick.
he is like everyone's favorite, like regression candidate, which,
He's everybody's favorite wide receiver 3 to rank at wide receiver 5.
right.
Like that's what he is.
I feel
That's
like
what he
we
is.
could be overthinking JSN a little bit. Like
I completely agree. We're
everyone that
getting
we
way too
hear talk
cute.
about JSN that I've heard, I won't speak for everyone's takes out there, but the takes that I've heard have been very much built around historically his catch rate was ridiculous with the amount of targets that he saw and everything was perfect and all the touch balls were there for him deep down the field. He was always getting open and you know they were one of the teams that threw the ball less than most teams last year. And I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, yeah, maybe he regresses a little bit from like a yards per catch perspective or a catch rate perspective. But one of the
Target
crucial
share.
ingredients there is like people are like, well, he just got open all the time. I'm like, yeah, I don't see, like, I'm not sure I envision a scenario where JSN gets worse as a route runner at the age of 25, not even in his prime yet. Now, you can make the argument that maybe they try and double team him a little bit more. But, the thing I'm struggling to understand is every year it feels like there are certain defenses where we're like, yeah, this defense is going to be lights out. Like this is going to be another lights out defense. And there are injuries that occur or there's regression for particular players. Like, how is it not a possibility that the Seahawks defense takes a small step back and because they have only Jadarian Price really that they can rely on, maybe they are more pass focused, right? Oh, and by the way, it's a brand new play caller. So I don't know that I like am totally on board with everybody assuming that there's going to be some huge like, oh, he might be a 16 point per game scorer or something. I feel as if like he's still going to be maybe top 3 in the league in target share. Like how many other guys can get the target share that he's going to get? It's still like Shaheed as the best second option in
Yeah,
that
dude.
offense.
Yeah, they didn't like they technically added Shaheed. I think that is fair to point to. He wasn't super involved from an offense perspective. He was a ton on special teams,
Yeah.
but now they paid him. He's gonna have a full off season with the coaching staff. But like yeah, like I just think that he's he's not gonna have a 36% target share. Okay, yes, but he doesn't need to do that to pay off being a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And like I think that even if the target share does regress, the yards per target, the efficiency, all that kind of stuff, the Seahawks can only go up from a pass volume perspective. Like they were
Exactly.
one of the lowest pass volume teams in the entire league. I think that does go up. You mentioned with the defense, like year over year, the defense should not be as good as it was last year. Like it was outlier good.
Exactly.
So
We only focus on regression in one area, but the defense could also regress, right?
it's like we're trying so hard. I feel like with JSN not having him, at 5, which is like whatever. I mean, people can do whatever they want to do, but not having him at 5 to me feels like wanting to be right about something. Like
Mm,
I need to have some sort of hot take in the first round,
right.
or I need to like there needs to be something where I'm different in the first round than consensus.
We do live in a hot take world for sure. And I've
Yeah.
contributed to it at times, I will admit. Last year, if you look at passing attempts, we've got the Seahawks all the way down here at 29th. I mean, no Ken Walker. I love Jadarian Price. No Ken Walker, no Charbonnet. Like, do we really think that this is going to be a team where the defense doesn't regress at all? They don't throw the ball at a higher rate. Like I think it's a little bit overblown for JSN not to be considered as like a top 5 pick in a startup draft. I think he's absolutely worthy of that. I mean, we've seen it with CeeDee Lamb. If JSN comes back down to earth at like a 17 point per game season, he's still going to be a first round pick, in a startup draft. I mean, CeeDee Lamb has had literally 1 year over 20 points per game. And for years, he's been a first round startup pick. You know what I mean? Like you just know that these guys at the top of their game are going to hold this value at wide receiver.
Yeah, yeah, and I think Darnold's clearly proven he can support it. The situation is pretty secure. Um, yeah, like I mean, from like a long-term perspective, I'm probably more worried about Puka,
Right.
right?
With
Just with
Stafford
like,
or
yeah, with we don't
yeah.
know. Like, I mean, I believe that Sean McVay can make it work with Ty Simpson, but the reality is that we haven't seen it, right? And we also believed that Kevin O'Connell would make JJ McCarthy good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Um, Josh has an interesting question in the chat. He says Luther Burden or a mid first and a 28 second. What do you think here? A mid 27 first. The second probably doesn't matter here, but
I would want to see the actual team that the first is coming from, so I could make my own determination of whether or not it's a first or whether or not it's a mid, late, early, whatever.
yeah.
If it's like truly like a bubble playoff team, I think it's probably pretty fair value. This is one of those players where like you can't like you would have to overpay to the nines to get Luther Burden off my dynasty team.
Yeah.
Like there's just to me there's no need to sell this player where I view such a high ceiling.
I think that's fair. After Hampton, we get Jefferson off the board as well as Lamar Jackson, who in Land League's ADP has a ADP of 201. So him falling to the 205 there is nice. In fact, in syncs, have you ever seen a Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs start in a startup this offseason?
I mean, probably not, right?
I don't think I have seen that before, Zammy.
Yeah, yeah. The trade up gets him a pretty nice, unique combination there.
So far, it's looking really nice for him. You and I drafted yesterday. Have you done a startup draft with Danny or strictly sticking to redraft for this point?
No, gosh. Oh my God. I don't.
Can't
I mean,
imagine.
I know like Danny is hardcore with like the, trading up and down, all this kind of stuff. I feel like being Danny's co-manager would be a full-time
job. 30 Vaughn must be a Seahawks fan. He says, don't maybe come out and lurk about the Seahawks defense. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm not saying that the Seahawks are going to be a bad defense. I'm just saying like when you're at the top of the food chain, very rarely do we see dynasties from a defensive perspective where like each year in, year out, like the Baltimore Ravens era with Ray Lewis, I think back to, the 12s really with Richard Sherman in Seattle. Like, I don't feel like that exists anymore in football. Like, can you think of any team in the last decade that's like held a 3-year stretch of just like being the number one defense in football?
Being perennially that good is like really, really difficult, right? Like, especially with like, I mean, the league just evolves so much year over year now. And there's so much innovation every year, and there's so much proactive innovation as well.
Yeah.
I think like the Texans are probably the closest we have to that, but it's been like a 2-year run, right? And like the offense hasn't been good enough for them to do anything.
Yeah.
Like those defenses you're talking about, those teams like won Super Bowls, or they were very close to doing so, right? Because the defense was lifting them up, but the offense was also good enough. We haven't really, I mean, the chat can correct us if we're missing something, but in terms of a team like being powered by their defense to sustain success,
Yeah. Like, see, like
Yeah.
Denver's been good for a while, but like Denver has never been at like the Ray Lewis Ravens, the Seahawks
Denver got
12s. Like the
Denver 3 years ago got put 70 points against them by Miami. Or was
the
that
like
like
the
2 seasons
Ravens
ago?
era, they would make like the conference finals just because of their defense. Like we were at a point where Joe Flacco was like, what can Joe Flacco get us? I don't know, but we know the defense is going to hold them to under 14, you know. Um,
Hmm.
we've got some trade questions here. Matt says one quarterback start 8 Tet for London. I'll take London pretty easily here.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
close.
that's pretty easy. Basically, what do you want Tet to become? That's what London already is in my mind. Another one here, Trayvon Henderson, 28 first for Brees and a 29 first. I mean, don't have a strong opinion on that. I think I would just say whichever first round pick is projected to be higher, 29 is so far out to project. That's 3 years
It is so
away.
far out. Like that's just not if I have either side, if I have, I like getting Brees there. I do for this season, but if I don't like getting a 29 first in that case. If I'm like making a contending move, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we're on the clock. I sent you what feels to me a pretty obvious selection here.
Yeah, I don't see how we go a different route. I mean,
Yeah.
this is also the best player available via ADP for these leagues, but I was looking at all the other options and it feels like we're reaching if we don't go for this player. So let's go take
Yeah.
Drake London here. Double wide receiver start. Chase London. I don't think Joe, who we're drafting for, is going to be upset about that start there.
He should be for sure.
One thing I'll say on this trade question from Black Viper though, if you're sending your own future first in this trade, you know, probably not ideal. Where like you're going to lose control in the future just to kind of pivot in a similar
Yeah, it
tier.
doesn't. Yeah,
Do
this
you know
isn't
what I
the type
mean?
of move that I'd be attracted to. Like even if you're big on Travion Henderson, you're sending Brees away. Do I want to send my 29 first? Like I don't. That's not even a real year. I don't know what's gonna be going on then. You
Yeah.
know. So
What's up, Zom?
yeah,
Welcome in, my friend. Trevor says, agree on the scarcity of running back, but it's been very interesting to see the dynasty community completely flip from pushing wide receiver factory last year to now putting premium values and focusing on running backs. Yeah, I mean, I still feel like the dynasty community is very heavily invested in the wide receiver position, though. You know, like I definitely hear where you're coming from, but
Jonathan Taylor at the 211.
that is wild. I don't think we've seen him go that high. Um, I made a video about why running backs are like why they're probably perceived in a better light this year than in most years. I think it does relate to a lot of NFL trends as well. You can watch that video later if you like, but basically in summation, like if I was to give you a quick synopsis, there are NFL trends that are um, they're not definitive, but they are very easily kind of showing you why running backs might be more available and why they're more important to your fantasy football teams. Yes, they've been less injured. Part of that is just luck. Like, we can't really predict injuries. I mean, I'm so tired of every time I talk about Ken Walker, every time I talk about drafting a running back in round one of a fantasy football draft. Like, Sammy, I'm so tired of people saying that, you know, you can't do that because of a running back's going to get injured. I literally tweeted out about this today. Like, it's the same people.
Did you see the responses to that?
I saw you there. Yeah. I was like, yep, fair play. But it's the same people last year who said, there's no way I'm drafting CMC. And then they took Malik Neighbors in the first round of fantasy football drafts
Yeah.
on Dynasty. And then, like, he got injured. Like, I've said this for years, but I'll say it again. It's like, it's a physical game. Players are going to get injured. There's nothing you can do about that outside of just don't play the game, you know, like, so, but running backs have been healthier, and there's been a lot of too high safety. Passing attempts are down, rushing attempts are up over the past 3-4 years. So trends are showing us that, you know, it's currently, and it could change. It's currently not the same offense when like Mahomes took over and he's throwing for 5,050, and like that era is not exactly the era we're living in anymore. Of course, Matthew Stafford, what he did last year, but it's not not every offense can do that anymore. A lot of these offenses are built around, the run game at this point. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, and as teams put more tight ends on the field as well, there's less room for wide receivers. Less wide receivers are relevant in those situations.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Like a lot of two tight ends, like you mentioned. We've always made the case that, well, there's three wide receivers on the field at a time. In that era, there was for sure, right? Like the Mahomes second season, third season, like yeah, there was a lot of three wide receivers. Nowadays, a lot of two tight ends on the field, right? So you're not wrong there. McMillan off the board. By the way, we have the fake wild dog in the chat and the real wild
I
dog. Did you notice
I
that?
knew it was the fake Wild Dog came in is yeah, Wild Dog 67, the old one, talking about how he can't wait for Hampton to be a bust.
I don't know who's pulling off this troll job, but generational from them. Wild dog, the real wild dog here is 19 Wild Dog 69. So that is the one that I trust as the OG wild dog. But all wild dogs are welcome. All right. I'm just saying, I trust certain wild dogs more than others. And I'm actually going to make him a moderator so I know which one to trust.
It's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Tetero McMillan off the board. I got to be honest, like I was pretty on board with like fading Tet in fantasy this year. But hearing the reports that they want to play him in and out of the slot is pretty difficult not to get
It's
excited
Drake
about.
London, right? It's Drake
Yeah,
London.
exactly.
That's what it's the archetype. I think that the situation is pretty similar. I do think like there's a real cap ceiling there.
I agree with that for sure.
And I think that there's a cap ceiling for Drake London too, right?
Yeah.
Like unless, Tua has some weird resurgence. He's like the ceiling is capped because it's an offense that can't, finish be top 5 in scoring, right? Like
Yeah.
but, the problem is like there are so many there's a few wide receivers that go like right ahead of T-Mac that I really really like.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. I do think that from a dynasty perspective, even if this year isn't incredible for him, he's going to be the clear lead in targets on that team. He's
Yeah.
going to have a good season. He's going to hold value as well, right? Like,
Yeah, the
no
only way
real
he
doubt
really like
about
jumps
that.
into like top 6 status or something is if Bryce Young has some miraculous breakout, which I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that a first round pick took a long time to reach their potential, but I just have so many question marks on Bryce Young's ability not only to see the middle of the field, but to throw to the boundaries. Um,
Yeah,
there's just a
yeah.
lot of question marks there. I think he's just a limited player. Like, if he
And there
has
are
a
a ton of
long
questions about
career,
Sam Darnold, right? Like,
mm,
that's kind of the path for me for Ted McMillan this year is like
that's true.
but I don't see the Panthers being that efficient. Like
The
the
other
efficiency Jason
part of
needed
the
was
issue is
insane.
Sam Darnold had the natural God given like
Yeah, Bryce doesn't have
attributes,
that.
right?
Yeah.
To fix a lot of that. Whereas like it's kind of like the Kyler Murray problem, but you have less mobility where it's like you can't really see over the middle of the field. Like
Yeah.
everyone in front of you on the line is taller than you. It's a legitimate problem. It sounds silly, but it's a problem. What's up, Dubs only says a wild startup has appeared. Appreciate you being here. Black Viper with a super chat here. You remember he was asking
The
about
Brees
the
Henderson trade, yeah.
yeah. He says I have Brees and I'm resetting. He doesn't have a 27 first. I have 3 but no 28. Trey lines up more with my reset.
So he's sending his 29 first on a team where he's resetting a little bit. Like that sounds I get like maybe it forces you into not rebuilding for 3 years, but at the same time like I'd rather have the pick. We're on the clock.
We are on the clock. I feel like there's a pretty obvious value here. I don't know how you feel, but
Uh,
he's a let's text about this.
yeah, I message you. This
Yeah,
is he.
yeah,
This yeah. Okay.
yeah, pretty easily. What do you think? I mean, yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree.
Mahomes at
Last
the
in the tier
310
for me.
seems like a no-brainer.
Um, he's got like a what? He's got like 12 years left on his contract, I think. So we're locked in.
But in 2040, we're gonna have some problems. Look, Black Viper. So you're getting his 28 and sending your 29.
Here's what I would do. This is what I would do in this
I
situation.
just feel like you need to, Sammy. I feel like just swapping firsts is not. It's not beneficial. I understand it fits his timeline better with Travion, but you need to get something like. Is he willing
Like
to?
I would rather do this. I would rather do this and get like I get the 28 first and I send a 28 second, or
Yeah,
even like just like some piece on his roster that has like some young upside, because I don't see a huge difference between Brees and Travion. I prefer Brees,
yeah,
but there isn't a huge difference for me there. So I would just want like a little plus, because I like getting younger there. I like resetting the clock. I just don't want to have to send a future first in 3 years to do it.
100%. I agree. I mean, if you have to stick with both of the first, can you get a player that's like equivalent to like a Christian Watson in the deal, a Parker Washington, a RJ Harvey, you know, shoot, I mean, Alec Pierce, Addison, Jonah Coleman, Ricky Pearsall. Like, can you get something, Travis Hunter, that's like actually beneficial to, your team rather than just basically swapping a first round pick?
Yeah.
But I agree. Like, ideally, you send multiple seconds and get his first. If you have to do that. But I'm overall indifferent if it's a move you really, really want to make. No, we did not get paid to draft for Joe here. I just like drafting. We just like drafting. We enjoy doing this.
Eh? Imagine God. I mean, there's probably somebody out there that does that.
Yeah. No,
Which
I
is
would
nuts,
I would
but,
never ask someone. First off, I do not want to draft for people for money. That's just never going to happen. Okay. But if we're ever like streaming a community draft and someone wants us to draft for them, like I have no problem doing that. So
I mean, it makes it more entertaining than you and I just like sitting here going, "Oh, good pick."
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, it's a
I
good
love
pick.
it
I don't know
because
if
I love
I
drafting.
would make that pick. Yeah, how about we actually, we're involved, and I think it's more entertaining that way.
100%.
We've been doing. I think this started like post draft, maybe post NFL draft. We started doing
Yeah.
this, and I think that it it adds some entertainment to the stream for sure.
Sammy McCaffrey went off the
Christian
board
McCaffrey.
on average, the 52nd player, but here drafted I think is like the
Fifth round pick.
30
It's redraft season, baby. It is redraft season, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
We had Nico Collins at the 305 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Starting
So,
to see a
yeah.
little bit of a resurgence for some of these old heads, if you will, the old heads in Dynasty, who aren't really old, but we just put that label on them, if we're honest. Trent says, Zach, you need to shine your head with oil for a vid context up to you could be funny. I don't understand what you're saying.
there's no it needs punctuation. It's Zach. You need to shine your head with oil for a vid. Context up to you. Could be funny.
Oh, okay.
For the Flock League.
I mean, I'm probably not going to do that, but I have some pretty funny ideas. I have some ideas I've been thinking about for the Flock League. Don't you worry. You guys aren't just going to say like, "Oh, just oil yourself up," and then I'm just going to do it. All right, that's not how this is going to work.
Oil yourself up. I just sent you a message. We're on the clock.
Man, we've taken so much stock of all three of those players that we're considering here.
I know, because we like them.
I know we love
They're
them.
really good.
What about this guy
we-
though?
Same tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine if you want to do that.
Man,
If you want to switch it up. The running backs are gone, which is annoying. Like I would have liked Ken
we're
Walker
not taking a
here.
running back here.
James Cook I would have liked here.
I'm pretty indifferent. I like all these options. I'm gonna leave it up to you because I truly like all four of those names. I'm fine with.
Okay. Uh,
Maybe we should have called our trade window, but it's too late now.
that's fine. I think I'm gonna do. Let's win the chip, man.
Okay. Olave in the fourth. I don't feel like that's happened much in these leagues this year. Let's look at Olave's ADP in these startup drafts. Olave on average is the 309.
A little bit of value.
The lowest he's gone this year is 44th overall. Where did he just go in this? Would
44th would be the 408. So you went 4-3.
Okay, so he went 39th, right? That's the second lowest he's gone this year in these startups. So I feel pretty good with that pick.
Trenton, I want whatever Trenton's having, honestly. He is having an absolute blast.
He might have sat down.
I say Sammy starts growing an Italian mustache and start waxing and twisting it. Hey, Sammy.
Why'd you read it as if he was like high off his face? Hey, Sammy. Yeah.
So I mean, that's what
you're imagining. Yeah.
Yeah. If you got any more ideas, Trenton, I'll take them.
Yeah. Rowan says the redraft influence is upon us. It's true. Gotsy says Kyler has an underrated deep ball, which is fair.
Did you see him chucking him to Jordan Addison at that high school stadium?
No, I didn't. I'd like to watch that video though. Where is that video?
Yeah, pretty. It's probably on. I'm sure it's on X, the everything app. Zach, come on.
Let's see. I see it on Reddit. Let's see. This is the video that Sammy's referring to here.
Yeah.
Whoa. You know what's crazy about this? Jordan Addison was wide open too. Like, this dude is...
How did he get that open?
Talk about average separation score.
Dude. You know what's crazy? That's high school
if he sees
stadium.
coverages like that, if he sees coverages like that all year, he might.
Dude, don't be a freaking buzzkill. This is what the offseason is for.
He might put up 25 points per game.
This is what July 27th is all about. What else am I supposed to hold on to?
I've notoriously been a hater for camp clips. We all know that.
Oh, it's the worst.
Scribble says apparently Xavier Legette is lighting up camp.
Dude. Gonna break out.
Yeah.
Ted McMillan, step aside, brother.
A year, age 29 breakout.
Dude. Freaking XL.
No, Legette's not that old. He's like, what, 25 now?
When he came, well, he was a fifth-year senior, right? But
he's 25, yeah. Which I thought he was actually older than that in hindsight.
I mean, he's going into year 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, year 3, 25 is still kind of old.
Yeah, year 325 is not ideal.
Trenton's asking if he's the next Nico.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he is. But that boy loves his farm, his horses.
Dude, yeah. Probably the best accent in the league for sure.
I feel like he's gonna be just fine. Whether, he's got enough money now to just kind of chill on his ranch if he wants to at this point.
Yeah, that's great. All these busts, they still do well for themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
Except
3 of the 4 players that you and I were considering at the 403 have now been drafted. There is still one on the board, but Rice at the 407 is just, I don't know, man. Seems kind of crazy.
I really like the start from KC Chiefs.
Yeah.
I do.
This is good value for Tate for sure. This is good.
We considered him at the 4. We considered him at the 403.
Yeah. I would have no problems making that pick there at the 406. But Tate's another name where in redraft leagues it's swapped. Like redraft, he's like a 6th round pick. Where, like in the Flock League last year, I took Ted McMillan in the 4th. I feel like they're kind of the same.
Feels like a
case.
It feels like a similar bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does.
So I
Completely
wonder why
agree.
people are more hesitant. I mean, it's not as if like we trusted Bryce Young last year. So it's hard to
Yeah,
wrap my head around. There goes Burden. Yeah. So
100%.
the four that you and I were considering was Olave, Tate, Rice, Burden, and now they're all gone. No surprise there. Jonah says, "Love the start for you guys. Hopefully Olave doesn't get one more concussion." He's being cheeky. He's being a little cheeky there.
Cheeky little bugger.
What's up, Albert? Welcome in, man. Good to have you here. Mike says, "I thought you were taking Rice at the 403. Honestly, we were pretty tempted.
We take right like every time we come on here, we take Rice, Tate, or
That's the
Burden.
problem.
So it's like, yeah, let's do something
The
else.
problem was we didn't want to give everyone that we ever draft this, the same exact team. We wanted to switch it up a little bit for you guys. Uh, but Nix and Purdy in particular, I thought really good value that late at the 410. Others might say that's where he's deserving of going. I think it's a pretty good value though, personally. Garrett Wilson,
No, I do. I think it's a good value too, but
yeah.
on both of those guys.
Purdy is just one of those guys when you do projections, you're just like, how do I ignore this guy?
Their defense is also like not
No,
good. Like
it's really not.
they're old. I think that this is a team that could be down a lot. They can't really run the ball very well, right? Like you think,
No.
oh, one of the best running backs in the league, but like McCaffrey is no longer an efficient running back. Purdy's throwing the ball a ton, man, and I don't think it's going to change. And like now you have that big red zone weapon with Mike Evans.
Yep. It's very interesting. I feel as if 40 touchdowns is a real
It's in the range
possibility.
of outcomes. Yeah, yeah. If you had to bet on somebody like under the radar to do it this year,
Someone asked, what's the biggest reach so far? I don't think I can point to any player and tell you like someone made a bad pick. But if you want to know based off like ADP and like our expectations, those would probably be two running backs. And one of them would
Taylor
be
and
Jonathan
CMC,
Taylor.
right?
One of them would be CMC. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
we haven't seen this would make Taylor 23rd overall, right? Um,
yeah.
I don't
Correct.
think we've seen him go that high this year. Maybe he has. Okay, he's gone that high one other time this year. But to be fair, his range, Sammy, is like all over the place.
Yeah, I have him lower. I have him like ranked around like the lowest that he goes in these leagues.
He is one of those names where when the fall off happens, he will be worth virtually nothing. You know what I mean? Like
And
he
that's the
can
thing,
win
like
you a league,
even
but when the fall off occurs, you just have to be aware when you draft him, McCaffrey. Sorry, is what I meant to say, not
McCaffrey,
Taylor.
yeah.
McCaffrey specifically. When you draft McCaffrey, you have to be okay with that. That has to be in the back of your mind. You have to acknowledge that that's a possibility.
Yeah. Like yeah, McCaffrey it's going to be any season now it's going to be nothing. I do think like I don't think he's going to have like this like sunset where he's averaging, 14 points per game. I do think it'll just be done.
Like Alvin Kamara,
With
basically.
yeah, with Taylor though. Like Taylor could be like Derrick Henry, where he's
Yeah.
into his 30s.
No,
He
that's
has the
fair.
frame, like, you know what I mean? And even then, he's 27 and a half right now. Next offseason, a 28-year-old running back. Like, it's a market thing for me. It's a
Yep.
year over year thing for me. Like, Henry's, going, I don't know what his average pick is, but he's probably around like the 8th round because he's old.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Taylor's he's not going to be able to hold anywhere close to this value.
we see Dak, Tyson, and Flowers off the board. Flowers, Sammy, is a name that I have been advocating for people to buy all offseason, and everybody's hated me for it. Meanwhile, the redraft season now occurs, and he's a third round pick everywhere. And we're not really seeing that love translated to Dynasty at all. I
Yeah, what's funny,
don't
Zach? Like,
understand the disconnect.
him and Chris Olave are basically the exact same age.
Mm-hmm.
They're going right next to each other in redraft leagues, and yet, I mean, they're a round apart here. It's not nuts, but
I'm trying to figure out what the disconnect is. I've been telling people all offseason, if you're a contender and you need a last flex, send your 27 first for Zay Flowers. I know everyone, treats the 27 first as if it's literal found gold, but
well, unless you're sending it.
Yeah, unless it's from my team apparently. Um, Throughout the entire 2026 draft cycle, I was advocating for people to sell their first in 26 for Zay Flowers, specifically like that 106, 7, 8 range. Um, and again, everyone was just like, "Ooh, Zay Flowers?" Like that was constantly the thought from the comment section. Zay Flowers, gross. Zay Flowers, really? But now, I mean, people are excited in redraft at least, and I get it. I think he's a great
Yeah.
player.
It's interesting though. Like Chris Olave averaged 2 more points per game last year.
Yeah.
2 more points per game. So like that's where like the Zay pick for me is a little like I don't necessarily agree with like the
I want him in
early
the
third
fourth of a
round.
fantasy football draft.
Yeah,
I
me
want him in the
too.
fourth.
Me
He's
too.
like a perfect, like, if you start your draft, like in redraft, we're talking guys, but like you go like Genty Hampton in the first 2 rounds, you come back in the third, and who's there in the third? I don't know, like Egbuka
Agbuka.
Flowers or something. Like that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that's such a great start. But
Hear
yeah,
more about it in the strategy video that dropped today.
that's right. I did release my official 2026 strategy video today. If you guys would like to go watch it, that is the video that blows up every year for whatever reason. You guys love it, and I hope you love this year's. It was more in depth than it's ever been. As we see Javonte off the board. Next, we see Bucky Irving, who the more I dive in, the more I am starting to get hope again in Mr. Bucky. Um, I really don't think that he has to be, you know, how do I explain? Like, I think people are worried that because Kenneth Gainwell is there, that means that he's not capable of being a league winner. I don't agree. Like, I do think it's not like Bucky was held off the field for, carries on the goal line as a rookie. I feel like it's pretty obvious why they did it in his second year with the injury. Like, he has a history
Yeah.
of being very successful. Oh, by the way, the guy who didn't give him any carries on the goal line, he got fired, right? So the more I think about it, the more I feel like, yeah, Gainwell can have a fine role. And Bucky can still be a league winner. Like, in this offense with this play caller, I really think Bucky, underrated pass catcher too. I feel like, I mean, he had the game that he got injured last year, Sammy. I remember it so vividly because I beat Bush in the Flock League. Bucky Irving had 100 receiving yards and caught took like a 5 yard or a 15-yard catch to the house. Like, he is not like a one-dimensional player. I don't know why people tag him as like, yeah, but he's not a good pass catcher. Where did that come from? Like, he was a fantastic pass catcher coming out of Oregon. I don't know, dude. Like, the more I like digest things, the more I think Bucky could easily spark the love everyone had for him when he was coming out.
No, I completely agree. I'm not really worried about Kenny Gainwell or Sean Tucker in terms of like Bucky's ability to pay off his current price.
Yeah.
We are back on the clock.
Yeah. I'd be curious what you think about this name.
Ooh,
because
I have a very clear guy that
is that
we
crazy
need as well. I was gonna say this.
Ooh, I like that as well.
Like everybody else in this tier has gone.
That
for me
probably fits our build better.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that, Sammy. Let's take that player. So we're gonna take Jadarian Price off the board. As T. Higgins goes off the board next. Jadarian Price stepping into as much opportunity as he can handle is what it feels like.
Yeah, dude. But George Halani's running with the ones, so.
T. Gotts says Zach Robinson is from the McVay tree, like Cohen, should be a good fit for Bucky. I 100% agree. Like, that's really, the more the offseason goes and we're getting closer to redraft, the more I'm starting to get bullish on Bucky. And I'm worried because I'm like, is anybody else in with me? Like, am I going to be on an island here,
I'm like at market with him. Like,
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of like there's a big tier there, and I just love Bajal Tootin so much that like he's like all I see, you know.
I want to send you a name here.
Go for it. Wow. I mean, yeah, I'd be down.
You think?
If
Do
you
you
want
think
to do
that's
that.
too? I don't. That feels in the
No,
sweet
no, that
spot.
that feels right.
Yeah.
The only other, uh,
Let me know if there's
yeah,
another
Lemon
name that
goes.
you really love.
I would consider Lemon here if he had fallen.
Lemon's gone. Yeah.
I don't hate the one that you broached before either.
Yeah.
True.
Let's see what Rowe does here. Rowe has started his draft. Daniels, Taylor Bucky, Nico Higgins, Warren. Which, by the way, like, I was very aggressively uh, Loveland, pilled in rookie drafts compared to Warren. Like, I don't actually have a stock of Warren, for example, in Dynasty. But, man, I'm struggling to see how Warren isn't just fed opportunities as we're looking at what's really healthy and available, in Indianapolis. I'm like, how does this guy not have like a 25% target share? I'm struggling to understand how that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This is the other thing I'd consider. I just messaged you.
I'm not opposed to that name. Let me just say something.
I think I know what you're saying, and I think I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Let's pull the trigger on that first one.
All right, we're going to grab our second quarterback here, Fernando Mendoza. So if you look at this from a rookie draft perspective, Love is the 101. The 102 is Tate at the 406. The 103 is Tyson. The 104 is Price. Lemon's the 5, and we get the 106 at the 603. This is a fun team. Honestly, this is one of those teams I wish I owned. Like, this is where I think we're doing well here.
Yeah, it's good. It's balanced. I think we can, make some noise this year, but also always we're playing for the long term as well.
Yep, 100%. T. Gotsu says Josh Downs 40% target share incoming. Yeah.
Josh Downs is an enigma, man. He
really is.
He's a guy, like, if your dynasty league isn't paying attention to redraft, I'd be like sending trade offers for Josh Downs right now because he's a guy who, people have sort of forgotten about and written off from like a dynasty perspective. Mm-hmm. And
because there was hype last year. Like, I remember talking about him in videos because I was excited.
Well, there's hype again. There is hype again, but
yeah.
It's just because now they're talking about him playing in 2 wide receiver sets, which he has never done before.
Yeah.
There is some talk about Keenan signing there, and Keenan has a connection with Shane Steichen.
That would be terrible.
That would suck, obviously.
It's funny how Keenan Allen's gone from like everyone's favorite receiver in his prime to for
like,
fantasy
bro,
to like,
retire,
dude, please, like,
please.
Stop. Like,
he should go to the Raiders. He should go hang out in Vegas for a year.
Can you just retire, old man?
Yeah.
Brian Thomas off the board there at the 605. Bashul Tootin at the 606. Where does Tootin? Tootin typically is
probably later than this, but I think that this is worth it, honestly.
Based off what's happening in redraft leagues, this makes a lot of sense. Tootin is actually typically an 8th round pick in our ADP, but I think a lot of that is like pre-draft influence. Let's see.
Sure, 100%. I mean, if you look at like we're drafting him right around, right around Jadarian Price. You
see like the pre-draft, there's a ton of influence post-draft.
Free agency was the big one.
That is the big one, yeah.
Literally the free agency.
He hasn't gone out of the 80s since since the draft concluded.
Yeah.
So that's like 6 round,
free
right?
agency day, he jumps to his highest pick and then falls back down.
Yeah. Marvin off the board. Hard to know how to value on Marvin Harrison right now,
I
unfortunately.
want to be in. I want to be in
Yeah.
on Marv now that like everybody's out. Now
I
that
think I'll take
it's
him in plenty of redraft leagues when he's going as like a 7th rounder, you know?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said Keen's a fantasy terrorist. You know,
I mean,
I'm going to go ahead and guess that Black Ops 2 or 82 Vibes is drafting from Team 5. Is this you, my friend? Are you at Team 5? Because I've seen you say that you like Team 5 about 5 times in the chat now. And you said, let's give Team 5 some credit. I'm guessing this is you. Maybe it's not. Yeah, no, not a bad team at all. We love Jalen Hurts. I love the Josh Allen pick. Might not be in love with the Saquon Barkley move, but it's a good
I'm
team
not.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I think that the Saquon is that's like a redraft brain taking over a little bit. Maybe I just 29-year-old running back in the 5th round, difficult for me. But
I like the team though outside of
obviously,
that pick. Like if
oh,
that
that's
pick
not even.
instead
He
was
doesn't even have Oh no, he does have Saquon.
like a Price, for example, I'd probably feel a little bit better
I
about
mean,
the team.
yeah,
But
like Scadaboo. Yeah.
yeah. Someone did ask the question, would you trade Price for Bucky straight up? I love Bucky Irving, but there's so much safety in a profile like Jadarian Price's historically, like with the capital that he has, the situation that he's stepping into. So like if someone sent me that offer, as much as I love Bucky, I'd probably decline it. I'd probably keep
Yeah. I prefer Jadarian Price. It's
Jadarian.
close though.
Yeah.
It is definitely close.
Devonta Smith coming off the board. He was a value, I think, at the 608. Like AJ Brown going a full round ahead of him doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I understand it for like a 1-year perspective, but I felt like that was pretty good value. Waddle, typically a 7th rounder, but comes off the board here in the 6th. Yeah, this is super interesting to see this draft play out, Sammy, because it is a lot of us thinking about the 2026 season now, because a lot of us are probably in
close,
best ball
like,
drafts or
yeah.
Jumping into some redraft leagues, and your mind starts to shift a little
100%.
bit, as it always does.
It really does. Like now you're thinking about, setting your lineup as soon as the draft ends and what's it going to look like. Whereas like in February,
Yeah.
you're not thinking about that as much.
No, not at all. Jordan Love off the board at the 6'10". That gives Tiv his 3rd quarterback. He's got 3 quarterbacks to 1 running back. A ratio that is going to give you some work after the draft, but if that's the kind of work you like, some people are like, hey, I'm all about that. Give me that work. I'll get some trades done. Tiv's an active trader for sure. Nate says, first time playing Dynasty. Offseason has been a lot of fun. That's awesome, man. How long have you been playing Dynasty, Sammy?
My first rookie draft was I think I got my first rookie draft was 2023, so I would have started playing in the 2022 offseason.
Okay, yeah.
So not that long at all, honestly.
Yeah.
But I was like immediately hooked. I was in like too many leagues right away.
You get the fever and then you just can't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Fannin, incredible value.
Great value.
In like a tight end premium at the 6'11". I thought that was great value. In fact, he has an ADP in land leagues of the 4th round, which seems insane to me now.
It's all those 0.75 premiums that we did.
A lot of the full point, the 0.75, they probably pushed his ADP up a little bit. Mike says high 5 for Team 5, and then Gotsy says it's the worst team he's ever seen assembled. But it is his team. Shout out to you, man. No, you're doing well. You're doing well.
But you could have just asked,
Yeah.
So
it's like, come on, guys.
Can Team 5 get some credit? Come on.
Yeah.
He's drafting so well.
Haven says, I drafted Bucky in the 4th round of a rookie draft. Yeah, I mean, that's what makes you fall in love with a player forever. When you draft a player super late in a draft, they hit in fantasy football. That's a connection that you just can't really describe, Is this true, by the way? Gotsy says that Danny had Gainwell ranked over Bucky.
No, I saw that. I don't even know. I have no idea what rankings he's talking about. I don't know. He's low on Bucky, but
Let's
he doesn't have Gainwell ahead of him.
let's have a quick look here. This is not Dynasty, guys. This is redraft, but let's just have a quick look here. Danny has Gainwell at 90th overall. And he has Bucky at 66th. So he does have Bucky higher than Gainwell in 2026 draft. But I will say he is the lowest on Bucky and the highest on Gainwell of anyone on the site. And I am the opposite. I am the highest on Bucky on the site and the lowest on Gainwell. So it sounds like we won't be competing too much for this backfield with each other in the draft. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, but Bucky's one of those guys definitely not going to be on Danny and I's team just because.
Yeah,
but that's fine. You know, we're just going to draft Bashal Tootin.
I might if I'm the pick before you, I might just draft him. Like if it's the fifth round and I'm the pick before you, I might just draft him just so I know that.
Well, and then we'd have to take we'll take a better running back right after him.
And then you guys just have to trade with me anyway.
Because time is a flat circle.
Yes. Godsey says Danny mentioned it in a video with Bush, if I remember correctly. He says, "Thank God Danny's not completely insane." Yeah.
He probably said that he's like low. He's like low on Bucky, high on Gainwell type of thing.
Life of Hawk says, with Sharp being on the pup list on rookie drafts, where should price go now? Is the question he's asking.
Oh,
here's the thing, like
nothing for me.
Yeah, this is
did not change
truly
anything.
Like I'm not just saying this. Like I've gotten plenty of things wrong, but I have been steadfast on this opinion the entire cycle. If you go back all the way to when the NFL draft concluded, and you look at my 2025.
You and I had
rookie rankings,
so many conversations being so confused about.
This was like 3 months ago.
Like, yeah.
You can go watch this video. Like I have had Jadarian Price ranked in the tier from like the 103, 4, 5 spot since the draft concluded. And I have said since the draft concluded, I do not expect Zach Charbonnet to be available for the first half of the entire season. Talked about how he's a free agent. I think you and I, like you said, like we've been on the same page. So is it fair to say it's changed nothing for us? Because for me,
absolutely nothing. Zach Charbonnet. Yeah, if Zach Charbonnet going on the pup for training camp after tearing his ACL in January makes you higher on Jadarian Price, I think that you're playing this game completely wrong.
Or you were sold something because like Life of Hawk, he's watching a lot of people's content, I'm sure. And there were plenty of people out there who were like, Jadarian Price isn't a good prospect. He's not worth the first round pick, this and that. And they forcibly moved him down their rankings, even if you put him as like a second round pick, he would have had a great hit rate. And he's not some terrible prospect. Is he worth a first round pick in most drafts? Probably not. Call him a second round pick, then that's fine. Even then, he was worth being, a top 6 pick in rookie drafts. So yeah, like a lot of people sold people the idea of like, you have to fade Jadarian Price. You can't be in on him, and that could be what's happening here, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. But I think we knew all along that Zach Charbonnet wouldn't be available for several months, and he's in a contract year. I imagine somebody's going to want to pay him more than the Seahawks are willing to. That we just saw them, let the Super Bowl MVP walk. So, yeah. I do think Zach Charbonnet, like if he, especially during the season, maybe like week 8, put a reminder in your phone right now. Week 8, send some offers of like a 3rd round pick for Zach Charbonnet.
I think you'd have to do that now.
You don't think like week 6 people are like, I mean, maybe it won't be a 3rd round pick. Maybe it's like, Aaron Rodgers to a team that had a quarterback injury. But I think
that could give you flexibility. I just think like right now that he's officially on the pup is when people are like, oh shit,
Maybe, yeah. People also just love points, and if a guy's on the roster not giving them any points, then they, But I think that he could get a decent contract in free agency, have an opportunity to be a 1A somewhere in 2027. But like this is Jadarian Price's backfield, man. Like going forward, like I really
Yeah.
don't see it any other way. They spent a first round pick on the guy, and even if he's not worth a first round pick, even if you want to call him a second round pick, the Seahawks spent a
Yeah.
first, and they know that they spent a first.
I don't think that will ever happen, Nate. The Dynasty League, to be like a Dynasty Flock League. To be honest with you, I I love all you guys. I don't think I'd even want to do that. Just because it might seem like it's not a lot of effort to be a part of the Flock League and like submit clips and, it is a privilege, I will say. It is a privilege. But there is a lot of effort involved and I don't really want to extend that effort year round. Um,
It also like people think that they want that, but like that would be so boring in the off season.
yeah.
Like it just wouldn't. You'd have to force so much content. It just wouldn't be. It wouldn't be as good as it maybe sounds in theory.
Yeah, so transparently, just speaking as someone who's in the league, I just wouldn't want to do it. There is a point, and again, it's an absolute honor to be a part of the Flock League, but there is a point where like week 10 rolls around and you're already pumping out like 5, 6 videos a week, 5, 6 live streams a week, and you're like, all right, got to submit clips. Like at some point, I love being a part of it, but just explaining like, there's no way I'm doing that year round. Just not a chance. I just could not, you know, just the mental energy it takes.
See, my perspective is a little different because it was not. It was like the as far removed from feeling like a chore for me last year.
Yeah, and
Not that I'm
it
saying
doesn't feel
that's
like a
what you're
chore at all,
saying,
by
but
the
like
way. That's not
it's
what I'm
just
trying to
like
say.
I wasn't pumping out 5 redraft videos a week last year.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah. I think that, but there needs to be content, and when there's no football going on, it's just not exciting. I'm good to just make the pick, Zach. If you're,
Yeah, this is funnily enough a player I really don't have much interest in redraft, but he is a clear faller in value here. He has an ADP of I think the 611 um on the Land League's ADP app here. So we get him in the 710. He's a perfect fit for what we were needing in RB2. So yeah, I think like this late or almost in the 8th round getting Travis Etienne feels like a no-brainer, Sammy. I mean, I honestly, I don't want to toot our horn too much, but I feel like we are pretty much killing this draft right now.
we are absolutely murdering this draft.
Um, Dub says, I wish I could stay this plugged into redraft leagues. After starting playing Dynasty, I left those leagues in the dust. Zero appetite for anything less. There's a lot of people out there like you. You're not alone. What I
Yeah,
will
I
say
don't,
is,
and
I think there is room for both. Like, if you really love fantasy football, there is more than enough room to have both a spot for both of these in your life. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that there's just a different atmosphere, a different vibe, a different environment for both of them. And I find just as much joy in both of them. And to be honest, when it gets to August, late August, I have more passion for a redraft at that time because I'm like, this is like, we're talking about this every day. And,
yeah,
I'm thinking about it every day. Not that I'm not with Dynasty, but I don't know. I just think there's a different environment.
yeah, and I think it depends. Like to me, there's nothing that competes with like a in-person live draft for redraft. Like that is like
Yes,
it's the best. And
that's
there's a
so
lot of
true.
people that
You
don't.
don't
There's
do
a lot
that
of
with
people that
Dynasty,
don't
do you?
have that.
Yeah,
You don't do that. I think like some home dynasty leagues probably do,
yeah,
but you don't. You don't really have that for dynasty, and some people just don't have that available to them,
yeah,
which is I think that takes a lot of the appeal away. But like it's also a shorter time to be invested, right? You don't have to. It's over once January hits and you can move on.
yeah.
We're back on the
We
clock.
are on the clock. I
If you want to float something, I'll just send some ideas.
let's talk for a second on the. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
that's who I was thinking too. The second name makes a lot of sense. It's either him or there's two other names real quick. That's one.
Okay.
Yeah. So between those with this build, I think they're all actually decent options. Let's go with Addison here. I think we go with Jordan Addison here. Yep. Jordan Addison off the board here at the 803. We can actually see how this trade went down now officially. So this trade ended up being Daniels, Nico, Bucky. Daniels, Nico, Bucky for Gibbs, Cook, Murray. I gotta say, the Gibbs side looks pretty nice there.
Gibbs, Cook, Murray, Daniels, Nico, Bucky.
Yeah, it's pretty even though.
Yeah, the problem is that I'm like way lower than that price on Nico, and I'm way higher than that price on Kyler. So like I do really like the Gibbs side.
I think it's
from like a
all
a
said
value,
and done pretty fair.
From a startup value perspective, I do think I prefer the Roe Bauer side.
Yeah,
but after the picks have been made, I like the Gibbs side.
Yeah.
Christian Watson and DeAndre Swift come off the board, who we were both discussing for that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate's saying that you got training camp.
I got done.
That's awesome.
I got.
By the way, did you see up in the chat a little bit? Wild Dog, brand new moderator, hid the fake Wild Dog.
Hey, Wild Dog, don't take advantage of that power, brother. All right. Some of you guys get the moderator tag.
Yeah.
And then the power. You're like, I have so much power. Yeah,
that's the only one he's allowed to do. That's the only one he's allowed to do.
Let's make sure we're not deleting other people's comments in the chat. Even if it's hate comments, all right? I don't mind. People can say whatever they want. I give you guys a moderator status because I appreciate y'all. And a lot of you guys are like year round, watching and actively a part. So let's make sure we don't go too crazy here.
I think it's completely fair for Wild Dog to mute his own troll, though.
Yeah. What I will say is one thing I found super interesting so far, Sammy. This video has only been out about 5 hours, the strategy video. However, I have had so many comments asking for Superflex. And that was not the case last year. Now, last year, I did make a Superflex strategy video. And at first, it absolutely tanked. Like, I think it had like 5,000 views or something ridiculous. Which, sorry, like for my channel, like if something does tank, I probably won't make content about it. So I was like, I'm not doing this again next year. I knew this would happen, right? And then it kind of took over for the last like 3 weeks before the season, went to 41K. There is a Superflex revolution happening in the redraft streets. So I've had, again, if you go look at that video, like we've had like a lot of Superflex comments. Like here's one, the Superflex draft. Let's see. How about Superflex?
I like the second one.
What's the second one say? This dude sucks. I love my haters as much as my lovers. They both help the algorithm, don't they? Let's see. This one's funny. Mason 0 RB Dodd could use this video. I saw this one.
That's funny. That's funny.
You're here. I see you. Man, there's a lot more. I don't know why they're not showing up right now. I'm looking like a fool, but the fact that someone's even talking about it right now is pretty big.
Yeah,
there's more. I don't know
if I would have expected that. I guess people, Superflex it's a revolution, man.
It is. And more people are
Do you play at any Superflex redraft leagues?
One of my home leagues is a Superflex league. I have a home one quarterback league and I have a home Superflex league. And so yeah, like I love all ways to play fantasy football. I'm in. Like I'm not
and look, this is
I'm not a fascist or something where you have to play.
It's funny, like way. I have like no idea how to evaluate quarterbacks in one quarterback dynasty leagues, and I have no idea how to evaluate quarterbacks in one quarterback superflex
Oh,
leagues
I
or
got
in
you.
superflex redraft leagues.
Don't worry. In 2 weeks,
So it's
there'll be a
like,
video for you. Don't worry. I got you.
well, I won't be playing in any, so it won't really matter. I won't watch it, but so,
Actually, I
but
don't give a
I do
fuck.
think it's like I feel like it's hard for me to like, especially when now that like I'm talking about it all the time and I'm making content. It's hard for me to like wrap my head around two sets of rankings, two sets of
Yeah,
ADPs,
it's a lot.
two set like all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that. In general, I feel like in redraft leagues, the most success I've had in Superflex is pushing quarterbacks, and like simultaneously telling your league how important they are. If that makes sense, like people are like,
Yeah.
in the draft, my league, like we draft together in person or like on a Discord call at minimum. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, is Josh Allen at the 101, and then Josh goes and it's like, oh, I hope I get a quarterback, and then like I'll show you my draft from last year, for example, in a super flex redraft league. This is my home league. I think I finished second. I think I lost in the championship round. Yeah, we finished second. We put up 186 points and still lost in the championship round, which was devastating. But this is the draft I had last year, for example. So last year, I didn't take a quarterback until round 5. And it was Purdy in the 5th round, Lawrence in the 7th.
That's so funny. That's where Trevor Lawrence is going this year in redraft and in one QB
And
league.
one quarterback, yeah. So you really
One
have
pick
to
ahead of Michael
identify.
Penix, by the way.
Say again.
One pick ahead of Michael Penix.
Yeah, I know. You have to identify, like, you have to take shots on quarterbacks late. You have to identify guys that you think could, like, break the stigma. Like maybe Trevor Lawrence this year is Cam Ward or Bryce Young, as gross as that sounds. But like if you can build
Sure.
like ridiculous ridiculous running back wide receiver room and you just hit on those quarterbacks late, you're like guaranteed to make the playoffs. Like if you can do that, you're basically guaranteed to make the playoffs. Whereas it's much harder, I think, to do it the opposite way. But you're gonna. I mean, look, I could have drafted McCarthy and it would have been bad. Fields went in the 6th, Stroud in the 6th. So things could have gone poorly pretty easily. It just happened to work out well.
Penix, Cam, Bryce Young, Tua, Stafford in the 11th.
Yeah. What Bush says, what kind of casual are you playing with Warren in the 1003? That's not crazy though for redraft last year. This isn't Dynasty Bush. This is a redraft Superflex league last year. Where was Warren going? What was his ADP
No,
last
that's
year?
a perfectly normal price.
But
for
the
that.
casuals
remember,
are my friends.
Didn't
Those are the
Nathan?
casuals.
Didn't Nathan take him? Nathan took him like right next to TJ Hawkinson. I think it was like the 8th round last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say the tight ends get pushed down in a Superflex league as well. But the casuals you're referring to, those are just my friends. Okay, which I have no
Tyler
problem.
Warren was a
calling them
6th
casuals.
rounder.
In the
Was he
flock league.
actually a 6th round pick in the flock league? That is insane that he got.
I
teamed
do
up
I
with
do
a
actually
rookie
remember
tight
now that
end.
we're talking about this. I remember when he went, I thought that's higher than I've seen. I wasn't like, wow, that's a bad pick, but I do remember
That's
saying
what we
like,
said to every pick. That's what we said to every pick that Nathan made.
Nathan sold him to me at the perfect
So no,
time. by
Bush.
the way.
He was the 806 in the flock league.
Okay, 806. Yeah.
Bush is getting old. His memory isn't what it used to be.
Bush is already unk at this point. Welcome in, Bush, by the way. Had a lot of fun. I don't know if you saw on the Fantasyland channel streaming with Sammy and Danny yesterday. That was a lot of fun. You're always welcome as well, Bush, if you ever want to come out and get into a draft. But
Bush has mastered the Danny co-host. Zach and I aren't quite well versed in that yet.
There was plenty of moments where I was like, all right, we're going to wrap this up in a second. I was like, no, we're going. We're still going on this idea. No, this will wrap up in a second. I'm like,
going.
all right, no, we got to talk about something else,
Yeah, I mean, he's, this is what I said. Like, I love that Danny has so much to say. I think it's his best quality, honestly. And, Bush reins him in.
He does. He actually does. I will be streaming team reviews tonight. Yeah, I've got, I think like 4 to get through right now. So if you are Unicorn, Zaddy, JC, Ford, I'll be getting to you tonight. And to Taylor Swift, who submitted a redraft team review. I was just so caught off guard. I'm just not ready yet to review your team. I'll do that maybe next week or the week after. I was just so caught off guard that we even have one of those in the chamber.
At least it's not pertinent, you know.
Yeah.
Season
Bush, you
doesn't
can
start
hop into the
for-
Discord call if you want. He should be able to access this Discord
He
channel.
can't actually, but I can give him access.
Okay, you can
'Cause
give
I
him
gave Danny
access,
ac-
yeah.
I gave Danny access yesterday.
Okay. Corey, Sammy's going to give you access here. Okay, Harvey. Michael Wilson comes off the board. He's a decent pick there. Harvey, I don't hate this late.
We're not on the clock, are we? Okay.
No. We are 1, 2, 3, 4 picks away at this point. 4 picks away.
It's Zach. Time to do some magic, brother.
Dude, I know what we're going to do.
what we're
I
gonna
think
do?
we're on the same page. Oh, shoot.
No, I mean Bush is
Oh,
in the
shoot,
call, so
okay.
you gotta figure out the cropping.
Okay, hold on.
Let me know who we're picking here, though. I would like to know because I have no idea who you're talking about. How's it going, Bush? They can hear. They will be able to hear you.
Wait, I can't
okay,
hear.
I thought I was
okay,
just
I
in
can
the
hear
cuck
Bush
chair.
now. Okay, yeah.
No, you're good.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
They
I
just
wasn't
They just
prepared.
can't see you yet. Yeah, Zach has to do. It's not like StreamYard. Zach has to do a bunch of cropping.
Yeah,
of,
I gotta. This is gonna look
of
gross,
images.
but who cares?
I see.
Watch how gross this is about to look.
I can't
you
wait.
all ready for this?
I'm looking at the cropping taking place on the stream right now.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This is gonna be.
But Bush,
disgusting.
how is our startup going here? Do you think we're drafting out of the 3-hole?
The 3-hole?
Oh gosh, this is
Joe
Now,
Neary?
Zach, now you're showing the Discord. This is
that's
what you're doing.
This is what I have to do. Yeah. All right, not everybody has a plush life like, going into StreamYard and just everything works well. All right, some of us we got to work for it a little bit. All right, this isn't gonna look perfect, but it's worth having Bush here on the stream, so we're gonna deal with it, guys. All right, it's not
What earth
perfect.
is
but-
You gotta.
I know. I'm
You
gonna
gotta
fix
change
you.
mine.
I'm gonna fix you.
Holy Christ.
Okay, who are we picking, Zach?
When we're on the board.
We got 3 seconds until we're on the board.
Okay, I just want to make sure it doesn't. I say we go Travis Hunter here. What do you think?
Oh my god, I didn't even see that he fell. Okay, yeah, that's easy.
Okay, good.
Okay, Bush, what do you think of the team?
There's way too many New Orleans Saints for my liking, but that's
Two
besides
is
the
too
point.
many. Zach and I
hate
consist-
ETN,
So
by the
basically,
way.
what we do these are land community leagues, and Zach and I, whenever somebody wants, we draft for them. So we're drafting for Joe here, and
okay.
Zach and I always take either Rice, Tate, or Burden in the 4th round. So we wanted to switch it
Always.
up a little bit. So we went a lot.
We were like, you know what? Let's give them the dignity of not having the same team every time we draft for them.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, I Olave I have not really any problem with. I think ETN where you got him is fine. I'm just generally lower on those two players this year.
I agree. Me and
team's
Sammy
shaping up pretty
fought-
well.
Bush, me and Sammy literally fought about Travis Etienne for like 30 minutes on a stream last week, so I'm right.
It was
there
so
with you.
annoying because I picked him at like the 407, and I was like, this is a really good value.
That was a redraft league, though.
Like he fell in a redraft. I got him at the 407, and I was like, yeah, I don't really love Travis Etienne, but this is a good value. And then Zach wasn't a fan. He thinks he's undraftable.
No, because
Fair.
you were
Yeah,
trying
I
to.
also think that.
He was trying to use Travis Etienne at the 4th to shit on Javante in the 3rd, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna allow you to do that. All right, I'm not gonna allow you.
I mean,
to
it's
do
a good
that
take.
You guys didn't make the obligatory streamer joke. It's actually HN now, if you didn't know.
bro.
I'm not doing it.
You know what's funny is I actually got more hate in the comment section when I tried to say it the way he wants to say it than when I just say Etienne. I don't know about you, Bush, but like when I tried to
just
say it the
refuse
way
to
he
do it.
wanted to, I like
The
people just found a way.
biggest
to just absolutely
problem-
hate me.
the biggest problem is that there's a few ways to do it, right? You can just ignore it and say ETN, which is what we're doing, which, by the way, nobody complains if you just say ETN.
Exactly.
Or you can say Achan, and then everybody says, who the hell is this guy talking about? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That's Devon Achan. Travis is not named Achan, whatever. Or the worst one is the people that say both.
Yes.
They go, Travis Achan, formerly ETN, every time.
Right.
And it's like, that's not helping anything either.
No, that's horrible. No,
It's
here's
all
my
bad.
opinion on it. First of all, if you look up how it's pronounced in French,
It's like
It's-
Etienne.
it's Etienne, not Achan. Like Devon, like we're all just monkeys who pronounce
Right.
it like Achan
It's
because it's another
French.
running back that we know. No,
Yeah.
it's literally not. And if you hear Travis say it at the press conference, he's like Etienne. Like that's how he's saying it.
Yeah.
We're just like Achan. We know that guy.
Like Devon? You guys are brothers?
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Yeah, I've decided just to completely ignore it.
Like if
entirely.
like big, you know what's funny? I know that I saw a clip. The fantasy footballers are doing Achan but they're calling him Travis Achan Jr. Like they're like adding the
I
junior to
saw
try
that
and make
too.
up for it or
Yeah.
something. So it's like
That's
if like
better, I
if
suppose.
big
I just,
fantasy football takes over and everybody's saying it, then I guess I would switch. But like right now, I mean, nobody knows who you're talking about. Imagine somebody coming to a redraft video on July 27th. They haven't watched a single video all off season. And then all of a sudden they hear Travis Achan. They're gonna have no idea what's going on.
Sammy, I
no,
just sent you
also,
three
like,
names.
You've been in the
that
league
we could
7
draft
years
here.
or 6
I
years.
like the running back there, Zach, if you're good with that.
Okay, yeah, let's take the running back here. We're gonna draft Jalen Warren in the 10th. I like this team a lot so far. I feel like the receiver room was strong enough to take that kind of risk on a Travis Hunter. It's funny to see Parker Washington go right after him, but
Funny is not what I would say, but
you're just a Parker Washington. You know what, Bush? This is a good. I haven't even asked you about Parker Washington. What do you think about the Parker Washington hype? What's your opinion? Like, where do you stand here?
I have like 123 in my redraft rankings, so I'm not the right
one
person
of
to
us.
ask.
One of us.
Okay, where do I have him
The
ranked?
correct take.
Let's see.
Parker Washington, honestly, like your stance on the Jacksonville Jaguars backfield, like it doesn't even like tell me if you're a ball knower. It tells me like if I want to be friends with you or not.
Wide receiver
you know?
room, you mean?
What did I say?
You said backfield. I
Backfield.
just want to clarify.
Oh yeah, I meant wide receiver room.
Okay, yeah,
We all know
so-
the backfield take.
Bush is dead last by a significant margin on.
Yeah,
Parker
you know what? Here's the
Washington.
thing though. Like I wouldn't even take him at 100. That's just like
You're
you
putting
know, me
respect
being-
on it.
I'm just like I got it. I can't put him 60 picks past ADP.
I had him at like 100, and then I saw Fusu talking about him as like the team's number one receiver, and I moved him down 20 spots.
Just out of pure hate.
Yeah. I don't know if you know the lore between me and Fusu, but it goes back like multiple years.
Tell us the lore here. I can't remember off the top of my head.
So in 2022 rookie drafts,
Oh God.
Fusu tweeted out something about like his rookie rankings, and he had been in the industry a long time. So I was just curious if there was some rationale behind one of the rankings he had, specifically Justin Ross over Chris Olave, which aged like milk in Austin.
I remember the Justin Ross people. I remember.
Yeah. And I go, what's the rationale? He shows me some like receiving yards over expected when the moon is full, and my girl's in her middle of her cycle stat or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, it doesn't really answer my question. And then someone said, like, why do you have, oh, hello, Mozzie. Someone said, why do you have this guy, I can't remember who it was, James Cook, I think it was, over Isaiah Spiller. And he had been a Spiller guy pre-draft. And he was like, draft capital. And I'm like, you have a UDFA receiver over the like 12th pick in the draft.
Yeah. That's
So he just got all mad
I don't know
and
much about
literally, like,
him.
popped on.
Is he a Devi guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a Debbie guy. And he was right about DK Metcalf once, and like
Right.
it's his pinned tweet.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I used to have a pinned tweet about Puka Nakua, so
guy that was drafted
I
6
stopped
years
doing
ago.
that a year ago. But no, I feel like Devi could actually be harmful for you to play and be a good dynasty player because
You get take lock, man. Like
the
you just get
take
obsessed
lock
with
is
these
so
guys.
hard
like,
to move
yeah,
off of.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I learned a lot from Zach Evans, for example.
I was gonna
mean,
say Zach Evans is the one that comes to mind for me.
there was an offseason where me and Badaki debated like Zach Evans and Sean Tucker for like hours, and none of it mattered. none of it mattered at all. Like, it was literally the most pointless debate you could possibly have. But I just feel like
The Ryan, dude,
the Debbie
Ryan
scene,
Williams
it can-
conversations coming up.
oh gosh, yeah.
Oh,
See,
buddy.
Ryan Williams, I released my 27 rankings like, I don't know, 3 months ago or something, like a first look type of thing. Well, none of us really know anything yet about the class outside of like a couple players, but I didn't have Ryan Williams in my top 12, and people were like, you're an idiot. How is Ryan Williams not in your top 12? And I'm like, I don't know, just he had like the worst season possible this year. Like, that's maybe a part of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I had him at
Terrible.
6, and I was told to go die. So
Oh my gosh, six is aggressive on him. That's
Dude, like, I mean, yeah, it was really, really bad. He got freaking outproduced by
yeah.
an average second round pick. Like,
yeah,
Just quickly to Nate in the chat, I apologize. I never do a good job of explaining like the difference between those. So let me just show you quickly what the difference is. If you get the Pro Pass, it basically doubles your playbooks, right? So it's basically, think of it as like you get 2 for 1 with an upgrade. The Priority Pass lets you skip the queue, so you end up being like top of the barrel there. Let me know if you have any questions there, my man. Kittle coming off the board here at the 10:09. Bush, we got to get you on a stream when we're starting a draft rather than ending it. If you want to come on Sammy and I stream basically every Monday, or it's Sunday night for you. But if you ever want to jump on one of those for like a redraft draft and jump into the draft with us or whatever, let me know. Be funny to get, because yesterday with Danny and Sammy, it was absolute cinema, but it'd be funny to have you there as well if you ever wanted to join.
well, the lore for why I'm here now is Maria's on a little solo writing retreat. She's working on her novel, and
it.
I'm bored.
there you go.
That's why I'm here currently. And I'm like,
I was like, Bush, Monday night at 9 p.m. What is going on?
I know.
I
like,
clock
wow.
out alarm at 4 p.m. every day that I like clock out for the day that I try not to do any work after.
Now.
Yeah, I try not to do any work after 4 p.m. But I'm like, what am I going to just sit in bed and watch TV until I go to bed? I'm like, what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah. What are your hobbies outside of fantasy football? Actually, that's a good question.
I'm realizing that I'm slowly just kind of Mason with like I don't even know. I think I would just turn into Mason if I was single. Like, I would just stream drafts every night.
And we're not taking that.
Well,
as a
Mason's not
compliment
single, and he does do that.
Well, I don't know what's going on over there,
engaged
but
and he's doing that. Yeah.
yeah, no, actually, I think that Maria's just much more like, I think Elliot has a lot more shit that she does with her own time, and Maria's like, let's spend time together. I think they're both quite busy people, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I mean, did you see Mason's? He's branching out into just regular content creation. Did you guys see the Mason Dodd channel? What he posted there?
I did, where he did like the whole chicken sandwich thing.
Chicken list?
The chicken sandwich. Dude, it has 50K views.
I know. Ridiculous.
Also, like
what is going on?
we all know the answer is Chick-fil-A. Like, I didn't need to click on the
100%.
video.
100%.
That's true, but I honestly watched it for the first time last week. It's been up for like a month.
I watched
like-
it too.
I was like,
I was like, what am I
let me see
doing with
this.
my life?
It's so funny that you guys say
Watching
that
Mason
because
eat chicken sandwiches.
when I saw
for
it,
fuck's sake.
I'm like, bro, you went to Applebee's? Why the hell did you go to Applebee's?
when I saw it released, I was like, there's no way I'm going to watch this. I clicked on it. It had like 900 views or something. And all I wanted to do was I wanted to know where Chick-fil-A was at. So I scrolled through the video and I felt like the viewer that I get annoyed at, I was that viewer, because all I wanted to do was scroll, not listen to any context, and just see where's Chick-fil-A. And then once I saw Chick-fil-A was at the top, I'm like, all right, I'm good.
I was just
It
a
has
great.
60. He
I
got
watched every
60K.
minute of that video to be a complete slappy viewer of Mason Dodd
Oh my
watching him
gosh.
eat a Burger King chicken sandwich and be like, it's actually not bad.
Yeah, this one's good. Do you guys watch Joshua Wiseman? He's one of my favorite YouTubers.
No, I haven't seen him.
He does he's a formula Michelin chef or whatever you call it. Formula. What's the word I'm looking for? Formerly.
Former Michelin star chef.
Formerly.
Yes.
Formula.
Is formula a word? Like, would it be proper?
Formula?
Would it be proper to say he used to be? When I'm saying like he used to be a Michelin chef, formerly a Michelin chef, right? That's how you would say that.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Formerly. Yeah, not
Formerly.
formula.
Yeah, formerly a Michelin chef. All right.
We got
Words
there.
are Anyway,
Formula racing.
he's great.
That's what I thought. I thought you were talking about like a race car driver for a second.
He like goes around the world. I'm like, Mason, you need to know what you're talking about when you're doing food review though, because you can't just be like, yeah, this is good. This is juicy. Like you have to have descriptive words that people can be like, oh yeah,
Clearly
this
he
guy knows
doesn't.
what he's talking about.
Clearly, he doesn't need descriptive words at all.
True.
No.
It's like, no, this one's
He,
good.
he cut into the sandwich and he's like, look at this cross section here. I was like, this guy's watched the food review.
Raw
Yeah, and
section.
it's like the blurriest thing ever. You couldn't see anything.
His brother's just like handing him fucking shitty sandwiches.
Now our
Yeah.
database
Yeah,
says
then he
that
was-
this one will not last more than 2 days in the fridge. It's like,
Yeah.
where
Dude,
is
yeah.
this gonna go?
We need the chicken sandwich model. We need the FSE chicken sandwich model to get loaded on the site.
Yes.
Low key, I should do because Canadian chicken sandwich lore is different. Like
Okay.
we have
It
the
is.
staples, which are
There's no
Chick-fil-A and
there.
Popeyes, which
Is
are the
Chick-fil-A
best
in
too.
Canada?
Yep.
It's new,
Okay.
newly. There wasn't one where like the one that I go to. There's two in the city. One of them's downtown though.
Okay.
The one that
I wasn't
that's
sure
like
if
in like
it
a
had
suburb
reached
is
international borders.
yeah.
Where I
The
live
one-
was the first one in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Wow, that's gonna
But
be
yeah, but Bush, when would have that have been?
Uh,
In the
I
last
was in
5
college,
years,
I
right?
think. No, I was in college. I
Oh,
was
wow.
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So mine is within the last 2 years that it's been here. So we're actually getting. This is big news. We're getting an Olive Garden
Ooh.
in Ottawa.
I
No.
used to love that
I'm
as a
pumped,
kid, but
dude.
Just when you thought Ottawa couldn't get worse.
bro, that's just straight gluten now. I cannot. I just can't. I loved that as a kid, but
Bush, you know, this happened on a stream like a few months ago. Zach had never heard of Harvey's.
Get
I-
fired.
which-
That would be part
I
of
didn't-
the Canadian tier
Yeah.
list.
right.
I didn't know that Harvey's was only Canadian. I had no idea.
Yeah, no, Harvey's would be in there. Mary Brown's, dude.
Mary
Mary
Brown's
Brown's.
is
You
good.
can't sleep on a
Brown's is
Mary
fire.
Brown's chicken sandwich, bro. I would actually put it like ahead of Popeyes.
Wow.
Legitimately.
I don't know if I've had a Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Really?
No, I only got like it's Chick-fil-A and then anywhere else I'm getting like a beef burger.
Well,
Yeah.
let me guys ask you this: as two Canadians, is it Tony or Tory Horton? It's not Tory Horton, is it?
Tim Hortons.
Tim.
Tory Horton. Tory Horton is the wide receiver for the Seahawks.
100-year franchise for coffee going.
Is that like a
Tory
memorable
Horton.
spot, or is it basically like Dunkin' Donuts of America?
Well, it's better than Dunkin' Donuts, but it
Tory
used
Hor-
to be better.
Tory Hortons. Yeah, it's a Canadian staple. Timbits are big. Yeah, people. I mean, there's a certain group of people that have become upset with Tim Hortons because it's now largely run by. I mean, like every Tim
They
Hortons
sold
you
out?
go to is run by the immigrant population.
Oh, okay.
And people, there are certain,
upsets people.
racist white Canadians that
Okay,
aren't happy
sure.
about that. I think it's still fine, if you're like,
I mean,
you know,
you just move
coffee's
to a
coffee.
small town and you don't have that problem.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
what, like,
yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
dive too much into it because I don't on the channels often, but I will say that America, I'm an American born and raised. I love all of you. I love my country, but they have such a unique way of turning anything political. Like, I did a video the other day, and in the intro, I was just being cheeky because I just watched The Odyssey, and I was like, this is like the best movie I've seen this year. This is absolutely incredible. Like, what a masterpiece. And had no idea that it could turn into like I didn't even know how it could lean either way, like politically. Anyway,
Oh god.
the comment section was like, of course. Wow, no, my favorite YouTuber of course he watched The Odyssey. I can't watch him anymore. I'm like, what? Like, what
the hell's the lore there?
I don't know.
They cast a woman that should have been Greek. They casted a black woman.
Which
Like
like
in the story, she was Greek, and so she was definitely not black. And then they casted a black woman, and people are mad about it.
So is it like a woke movie that people think?
I
That's what
guess
they're saying.
I guess
They're
the
saying
thought is
it's-
that
they're
it's
saying it's
woke. Yeah.
They're saying it's woke.
I see. Okay.
Which,
I mean, I
yeah.
said 6 players we're putting our dicks on the table for was the title of our video like earlier this week. And I said toxic masculinity at the beginning of the video and people were mad. Like I was joking.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, it's like a toxic masculinity term.
well, that's the problem as
And people
well.
were
Like,
like politicizing that term.
people
I'm
aren't
like, what?
great at like recognizing sarcasm either. So sometimes they take things too seriously. But I thought it was a great movie. Not once did I think about a political agenda on either side. I was just like, this is a great movie, and I just enjoyed the movie. And I was like, you know what? I gotta just not put any pop culture stuff. Like just
If you just watched the movie without knowing, you would have no idea.
yeah. No,
How
this
about
is
we just make politics political? Is that allowed?
right. Well, what Patty just said here. It's mythology. That's what I find so funny about any of it.
The movie with a Cyclops, everybody
what I
is
mean?
mad
Like-
that Helen of Troy is black. Yeah, the movie with the Cyclops.
I'm like, it's not. This is not real history. The Cyclops didn't exist. Like it's
Yeah.
okay if we
Terrible.
skew a little bit. But Sammy, I got a pretty clear target here.
I think I know exactly who it is.
Okay, let's message on the side here real fast to make sure.
Yeah, hit me up.
Is this just like a regular startup Superflex league, or is there like janky settings?
This
Normal,
is a
completely normal.
start 10
Oh,
0.5 premium. So pretty standard.
this is what I was thinking. I mean, Kincaid goes right as you messaged me,
Yeah, I like Kincaid. Ooh, that's a fun one.
isn't it?
Huge would have been my pick. if he
Huge
was
is
on
in the
board
queue
there.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm indifferent here, Sammy. I'll let you make a pick.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm indifferent.
We could use the running back.
So we'll grab Rashad White there. Which Rashad is a player, another one of those guys who's like going way higher in redraft than he is in Dynasty. Makes sense. It's a 1-year deal.
The
know?
bet's so thin too. Like he's
Yeah.
on a 1-year, $2 million deal, but in the 8th round of a redraft league, you can stomach that easily,
100%.
right? I think
Buccaneer great.
Yep.
Buccaneer great. Zach, we were talking about Josh Downs earlier. Like the 11.4 for this guy. Like that just feels like a misprice of the dynasty market. Honestly, like
It's probably 80.
I mean, Michael Wilson going 2 rounds earlier seems a little off.
Yeah. What's
Like
your
his teammate going 2.5 rounds earlier, Alec Pierce seems also quite off. in
Do you
my
have a
mind.
strong
Like, I think
stance on the Cardinals receiver room?
I have like probably close to 40% Marvin Harrison Jr. in
Okay.
underdog
wow,
draft right now.
that much,
Like,
eh?
Yeah, I
You just can't quit. You just can't quit.
I can't quit, man. I like as the person who rostered him in the Flock League down the stretch last year, I can say with utmost confidence that Michael Wilson breakout would have been Marvin Harrison's breakout had he been healthy.
The thing is,
it
none
is
of us
Michael
know.
Wilson-
I mean, it could have been.
Michael Wilson
No, of course
said
not.
he said in an interview that he was playing Z when Marv got hurt. Or no, he was playing X when Marv got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when he started getting peppered with targets, was when they moved him to X.
Yeah.
And I feel like Marv's better off getting moved around. Like, so like they should, Matt LaFleur should, or Mike LaFleur should put, I think just keep Michael Wilson at X where he was so good last year. Move Marv around. Do you see Marv
him
was
around.
already dealing with some back stuff today?
Yeah, it was apparently just soreness based on what I read. We'll see if it turns into anything
All
more than
that
I'm
lifting
definitely going to cool
and-
my exposure down by the end of the offseason. I just routinely get on the board in the 6th round needing a receiver generally. And I also I think that him and BTJ and Odunze, I have 20% of all of them plus. And they're just like some of the best picks on the board in the 6th, early 7th round.
It's like
where
that
they're
or
going.
quarterbacks. Like that's all I'm
Yeah,
thinking there.
and I'm just of the opinion this year based on
You're on the clock,
redraft.
by the way, Sammy,
In
sorry.
redraft, it's a little different. In best ball, I'm just of the opinion that building for the honeypot of like the Lawrence Goff area is just a little bit better.
Yeah. You're on the clock, Sammy. I
yeah.
will
I'm
cede
getting-
to whatever you think is best here because there's not much time. But we're probably going to, obviously we're not going to stream all 25 rounds. We'll probably call it after this 12th round here. And then this stream,
I went Jaden Reed.
Jane Reed's fine. I have no strong opinions for or against him. He feels very much sharpied into the slot, like 3 wide receiver sets. I would be shocked
I
if Matthew
agree.
Golden comes off the field in those 2 wide receiver sets. What do you
The
guys
thing
think?
is like if Matthew Golden just sucks, then he could, right? Like
Yeah.
Matthew Golden actually has to be good. They're not like I don't think they're just gonna keep him out there if he's terrible,
Yeah, like he seems like
But again,
Hypothetically-
like
Golden seems
preseason-
like in redraft at least left for complete dead. I'm doing a really unique video at the end of this week where I have basically found it's called the number one breakout for every NFL team. So I go through like 32 players, but I do it in like 25 minutes. It's ridiculous. And it's hard to find a breakout in Green Bay and call it a true breakout other than it being Matthew Golden. Like if you were to project who's most likely to break out, I guess you could say Watson, but I don't know if I would consider him a breakout. You know,
Kraft would be my answer to that
Kraft.
question.
It's hard because Kraft feels like he kind of broke out last year, but to have like a full season of that would be insane. That would definitely be a good breakout call.
For a tight end, if you've never finished as a top like 8 to 10 guy on a full season, I would probably consider you not having broken out yet, even though Kraft was on his way to that obviously last year.
Yeah, I mean, what he had 2 games with 60 yards.
I absolutely love him.
I'm like a little pessimistic on the injury because he started on PUP and Micah Parsons didn't. So I don't like that.
Micah
so
Parsons
far in training
isn't on
camp.
the PUP?
No.
Yeah, he's not.
What?
No,
This is the thing. I feel like training camp PUP is like, it's very, you know,
it's finicky sometimes.
It's
like we'll see what happens a
situational.
week from now, but I worry that because Kraft is not a and Kittle I have the same concern about. Neither of those guys are target monsters like Kelsey or whatever.
Yeah.
So they kind of need the like yak and the breakaway like
the yak
explosiveness
numbers
to be there for the Achilles and ACL stuff. Kind of makes me a little nervous for those two guys specifically.
The yak numbers from Kraft, it's like if you go to like yards after contact per attempt or per touch last year,
ridiculous.
It's like the top 30 is like 29 running backs and then Tucker Kraft. Like it's insanely unsustainable, I think.
Especially coming off of a blown knee. Like, is he going to still just be jaunting as well? Like, again, if he's cleared for week 1, he's playing in preseason games, I'll probably not care as much about it. But I wish I was getting a bigger discount on Kraft and redraft.
What's his
That's
ADP
my
right now?
that's exactly my take. Is like, I want to be in on this guy, but the reality is that he had 2 games of 60 yards. It's an insane amount of yak. He also scored, 8 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Was it? 6 touchdowns in 8 games. So
the opposite side of it is he could just be their best pass catcher straight away.
He easily could be if healthy,
for
sure.
Yeah.
Going 78th overall as a tight end 8. See, tight end 8 doesn't feel crazy to me, but I'm not really targeting tight ends in the middle rounds anyway.
Consensus ADP has him.
Like I don't, quite frankly, I don't understand how like Kyle Pitts. This is, I believe they pull from ESPN.
We have the average on the site, Zach, on the ADP page.
On the flock, we do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can sort by anything.
77 overall.
77 on average.
Yeah, Pitts, Laporta, and Fannin are all like within 7 picks of where he's going, but they're all ahead of him.
Yeah.
I don't think I can take Laporta ahead of Kraft personally.
No.
Oh, I would do it like a baby doing so, to be honest.
Really?
I can't do. I'm not on Laporta. Pitts is the one for me. Pitts is a really easy pick for me ahead of Kraft.
Like philosophically, I am very like Danny and I have this argument. You probably had it with him yesterday, if I know Danny.
We didn't have that much time, Bush.
He keeps coming after me on McBride over Loveland, like I'm the one who needs to defend myself having McBride higher. And my philosophy at tight end is that I really heavily value when someone has a top 5 or 6 season under their belt. So Laporta being a guy who's already done that, and like the way Jamison Williams hit last year, and even the way that Trey McBride smashed last year, was a little bit of like contingent value, a little bit of implied upside that if St. Brown or JMO gets banged up down the stretch, Laporta could absolutely crush by the end of the season, especially have the best schedule in the league. And in my projections, like I'm very bullish on the Lions. I have Jared Goff throwing 35 tugs and 4,800 yards. Like I think there's totally enough room for Laporta to have, like I'm for 863 and 8 for like almost 13 points per game. And that's like assuming St. Brown and JMO are playing well all season.
Yeah. What did you say your projections were for Jared?
I have him 598 attempts, 4,783 yards, so almost 4,800 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 picks.
Yeah, I got him for 4,300 and 34, let's say. So I think he's going to be. That's one of the things I feel like people aren't projecting enough is the Lions throwing the ball at a high rate. Their defense got worse losing Terrion Arnold, right? And
Brian Branch and
Branch,
Kirby Joseph are both on the pup to start training camp as well.
No David Montgomery. I think I have the Lions projected to throw the 4th most passing attempts in the league in general. So
yeah, here's the thing too, that unsustainability argument for Trey McBride, they threw the ball like crazy. Who was their offensive coordinator? The Lions' current offensive coordinator.
Sure.
That's not a bad connection point there. All right, guys, we are going to call it here. Bush,
Zach,
I'm probably going to get into
I-
some team reviews, but
Is Joe
cool.
Joe taking over here, or am I finishing this thing?
can you message him because I'm not in that sleeper league? Message him and see if he's available to take over again. But we are going to jump to some trade questions. You can stay if you want for the trade questions, Bush. You can leave. You can stay. Up to you, man.
I'll stay for a few minutes. If you want me
Okay.
to pop off for the reviews, I can pop off.
And
for
you don't
those.
have
If
to
you wanna
pop
go
off
to
for the
trade
reviews
first.
either. I just don't want you to feel like you have to stay. By the way, shout out to Brandon being in the chat, becoming a member there. Appreciate you. Let's get to some trade questions. Both of you, as I say to Sammy every time as well, like stay as long as you want, leave as early as you want. No pressure either way. So we've got a trade question here from Paul Bunyan. Yes, the man himself, Paul Bunyan. And it's a 1 quarterback, 12 team start 8. He would send away Breece Hall. He would get back Price in a second. Bush, I have pretty notoriously been very open about saying like 2nd round picks don't really matter much to me in a trade. They're not really going to move the needle. The hit rate on a 2nd round pick is quite low, even in a good class. I probably am going to keep Breece Hall if this is the best offer available. I don't know if you guys have a different opinion though.
If you've got conviction on Price over Hall, getting the insulation is fine with me, but I prefer Hall as well.
Yeah. So any thoughts there?
Same tier for me.
Yeah.
Same tier for me. This is kind of like contender rebuild for me, where I'd lean. Like if I'm going for it, I'm happy to send Price in a second. And if I'm kind of blowing it up, I'm happy to send Breece and get an extra pick in next year's class.
Yeah, I wonder if you're a contender, if you can do something small here, like adding like a DJ Moore, like you send a second, for example, if you're a contender in this scenario, remove the second that you get in return and get DJ Moore, like something small like that. That to me is fine, but I don't have a strong conviction, and I do slightly prefer Breece Hall there. Rings last forever. Superflex 10 team start 11. So a bigger lineup here. He would send away Jalen Hurts for 2 firsts. One he's projecting to be mid. One he's projecting to be late. 10 team league. Hurts is interesting because Sammy and I have felt like he's underrated most of the offseason. Would you guys sell him for 227 firsts? What's the range on him?
I think it's about fair if you're pessimistic on Hurts. I worry that like Kyler Murray is the range of outcomes that we're headed towards with Jalen Hurts, where the Eagles eventually get sick of him. But at the same time, as long as he's a starting quarterback, he's going to be really productive for fantasy. So I think it's probably, if I was rebuilding, I would be fine taking this for Hurts. Yeah. And if I was contending, I'd be fine paying this for Hurts.
Sure. I feel similarly. I probably lean the Hurts side. I think I agree with what Bush said about like the potential Kyler path there. I just think that the Eagles are like an exponentially more competent organization than the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I think Hurts has always been better than Kyler for what
they'll be able to figure it out around him a lot better than the Cardinals were ever able to.
If the site is showing us his team correctly, then he would be relying on Kyler and Malik. Stroud would be his quarterback 3 there. He's got a pretty competitive team with like Taylor, Henderson starting. Neighbors,
maybe this is the start of a teardown where you're going to sell Taylor as soon as you do.
Yeah,
you got young receivers. Maybe you sell Collins and whatnot after too.
I will say, if this is his team, I'm probably keeping Jalen Hurts because you've already got 3 firsts in 2027 anyway. A team with Trey McBride, George Pickens, Higgins, Nico, London, Neighbors, Henderson, Taylor is not a team I'm probably sending Hurts away for unless it's like a 3 first. So
Unless he's going to go make a consequential move after he gets more
Right.
picks. Like, is he going to go send 4 ones for Josh Allen after he makes
Sure.
this trade? Like,
If this is like one of 2 deals, then it makes more sense. But you're too competitive, man. I think you need to go try and win a championship. Rings last forever. This is a Superflex 12-team start 10 with a 0.5 premium. He says RBLDN. Do you guys know what that means?
Ryden?
Rob, I'm so old.
Maybe it's another team.
Rebuilding.
Oh, rebuilding.
Need Smith one team in
We
the
got
race with me, ZO bro. So he's sending away Daniels in a third, getting back Simpson in 2 firsts. Yeah, I don't like the idea of rebuilding and sending away one of the better rebuilding assets that you could build around. I don't know if you guys have an opinion there, but I would probably. Daniels is very polarizing. I think me and Sammy are probably going to say
he's polarizing.
Keep him,
I just would need more than I don't love Simpson. I think he fits your build if you're rebuilding, but I would like if you did Jaden a 2 and a 3 for Simpson and 3 1s, then I would probably do it. But 2 1s is probably not enough, especially if that is a late first guaranteed in 27.
Yeah, so the counter here, like Bush mentioned, this guy's got a lot of firsts. So if you can make that 3 firsts and, you send...
Give him another competitive asset on top of it just to move the needle.
Like, either another second...
Cortland Sutton or some shit, just throw him somebody like that.
Right. Like one of these other names, Franklin's probably not going to matter to the guy, but you don't have many of those options, unfortunately. But maybe you've got plenty of picks that you could get that done. Don't undersell Jaden just because... he had an underperforming year last year. Driston in a Superflex 16-team start 7 with a tight end premium. So all these players matter in this league. He would be sending away Lawrence, Pollard, and Singleton to get back Ward, Price, and Monangai. I feel like because of the context of it being a 16-team league, I'd find it really hard not to move off Pollard and Singleton for this.
16-team super flex dog. Like you'd have to pry Trevor Lawrence out of my cold dead hands in a format like that.
But I feel the same way about
trust
running
Cam Ward
backs.
enough to do this.
You think
it's also only a start? It's only a start 7 though. So
that's true.
But
so
if 2 of those are quarterbacks,
this is
So
I mean,
I'm
the
imagining
elite quarterbacks are worth so much in this, right?
I'm imagining it's a super flex, but it's like the last flex. The only flex is a super flex inherently, if that makes sense.
I mean, having May and Lawrence, like you got a huge advantage over your league mates with those 2 guys.
So right now he's starting May. If he keeps Lawrence, he's starting May, Lawrence, Swift, Pickens, Rice, Thomas. That's 7. Or Kittle. So how could it be a... Maybe it's a start.
By the way,
8,
for what it's worth, this is less starters in the lineup than a 12-team start 10.
Right. Yeah,
but I mean, think the quarterbacks, if it's a super flex, if quarterback is what, that's like
unless he mid-clicked and it is a 1 quarterback league, because 2 quarterback start 7 is kind of weird sounding, like you said. Maybe there's no tight end spot. I don't know.
Let me see if there's like on the back end. Sometimes it shows wrong.
I feel like the quarterbacks are so valuable here. That's more than a quarter of your starting lineup is quarterback.
Yeah, like I wouldn't trade Lawrence for that. I'm not like sorry, Sammy. I'm not sold on Ward yet. I think he's a total coin flip.
So it says 16 teams start 7 on the back end. So it's some strange format. Look, I'm not as far off as these 2 boys. I totally understand not wanting to sell Trevor Lawrence, but I also think you're moving 2 dead assets in a 16-team league for 2 guys that you could potentially start in this specific format. This comes down to how in you are on Cam Ward. Like if you think, to be honest, like Dayball Tate is very enticing. Like it's very, I could see a scenario where he becomes, a 15 to 17 point per game scorer. But obviously losing Lawrence is going to cost you. So let's find a counter that might be more enticing. Like, for example, if we're able to get a first in this deal, and let's just remove Monangai from it, does that change anything for you guys?
Yeah, that would probably move the needle enough for me.
Yeah,
it's worth noting our trade calculator doesn't have a 16-team option in custom mode, so it also could be going off of 14-team values, which in a 16-team superflex, like QBs are going to be more inflated than they would be in a 14-team.
Yeah.
I think the
that's
first would be enough,
for me.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't undersell Lawrence. I agree, but I would explore the trade if it's still available. Our Blaze 10 team start 10 Superflex tight end premium, sending away Hampton, Etienne, and a first for Gibbs. Wow. What do you guys think?
No.
I think Jameer
can't.
might drop 26 points per game this year. So
Yeah.
if you're like, go to his team. If he's like a Thanos or a Juggernaut, I'm doing this.
Okay, so if he'd made this trade, he would be starting Hertz, Herbert, Dak on the bench, Gibbs, Judkins, Jefferson, Lamb. It looks like McBride. He would be flexing Nico, Jamo. So he can afford to do this probably.
I'd go in. Gibbs is the best player in fantasy football. I'm totally fine doing this.
Okay. We're all
It's a lot
in.
to pay. Maybe you can get him to tack on something to close the gap a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm comfortable.
Like a Coleman as a throw in here, maybe.
Yeah, like does
Or
he have like a bench receiver? Like I keep saying Sutton, but like
Antonio
somebody like a
Williams?
Sutton or a DJ Moore or something that could close the gap at all?
the gap is pretty big after Mike Evans.
Watson? Evans?
Watson or Evans, yeah.
I mean,
Watson
it says
or Evans
balance with
works.
Watson. Like
Maybe you can throw them back like a third if you get a Mike Evans in this deal.
yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Watson.
if you get Mike Evans or Christian Watson, I feel better about it. I do see a range of outcomes where Hampton is in the Bijan Gibbs tier in a year.
Sure.
Which
I from
which
dynasty
makes me
perspective,
hesitant.
yeah, from a dynasty perspective, I agree with you. But from like, I think Gibbs might outscore him by 8 points per game this year.
Yeah, he's set
He
to
could.
go
He could also, I
crazy.
mean, the Chargers could also score, 35 rushing touchdowns.
Yep. Hopefully that's helpful, Blaze. We've got FFB Goat here sending away Lamb Evans for Rice Nico. I'll take Rice Nico easily. I have been team sell CeeDee Lamb a lot this offseason. If the price is right, this is the right price for me. Don't know where you guys stand. It's probably going to come down to how you view Rashee Rice, I imagine, in this one.
Honestly, I'm just
Bush
not
hates him.
I'm just not used to people not glazing CeeDee Lamb that I'm on a call with. To be honest, with you. This is like
It's a breath of
refreshing
fresh
to,
air,
like,
isn't
talk
it? Isn't
about
it, Bush?
CeeDee Lamb in the sense that we could actually sell the guy and it not be the worst idea.
You're now free to speak.
Yeah, I have Nico and Lamb like probably a lot tighter in redraft rankings than a lot of people do, and I actually have Rice also in the same range. So if I'm a competitive team, I'm very comfortable doing this. Nico and Lamb are the same age. Rashee Rice is a year younger than him. It's not like a long-term issue, really. I guess Rice is divisive from the knucklehead perspective, but I'm fine taking the risk here.
Yeah, I completely agree.
On the same page. I like it. Michael is in a Superflex 12-team start 10, a tight end premium of 0.33. Sending away James Cook and Godwin to get back Walker and Eli Stowers.
What freaking website lets you do a 0.33 tight end premium?
Does Sleeper? I think Sleeper allows you to like.
Yeah, you can make it any decimal if
Right.
you want.
Oh, okay.
You could hit a 0.69 premium if you really wanted to.
We're getting way too cute. I was
Why
talking
not?
to Zach earlier. We were having a conversation about like why it's so like normal in Dynasty and like it'll never be normal in redraft. And I'm like, this is why the Dynasty freaks are putting 0.33 for the.
We got people doing point per carry, point per first down. I mean,
tiered PPR.
in Dynasty
yeah,
we get bored
all
and
of
we
it.
just think, what rules can we make?
I feel like people just go like, I don't think a 0.5 premium really does it justice, but I can't take the premium off altogether. Let's meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. I personally, Bush, have Cook and Walker in the same tier in Dynasty. So it's pretty much a wash if you're rebuilding, or obviously you're not rebuilding if you have either of these guys, but if you're more of a young team in I guess you'd call this a tight end premium, like Stowers is probably more valuable than Godwin.
Yeah.
I don't really have a strong opinion on this. This seems pretty fair for both sides, unless you guys have a strong opinion either way.
I have Cook projected this. Like, I look at these guys; they're both like kind of 2 to 3 year window running backs.
Yeah.
I have Cook projected for like 2.5 points per game more than Walker. I'm a
Okay.
little lower on Walker this year than some people seem to
really?
be. Yeah,
2.5.
Yeah, so I have Cook higher in Dynasty, obviously as a result of that. So I would prefer the Cook side, but if you're a massive Stowers guy, like, and you think it's a wash, I think that's fine.
Man, Stowers
I'd be
is not giving us
I'd be
anything
Ken
to be
Walker
excited
here.
about right now in camp.
No, but it's freaking July 27th.
I know. I'm not saying we panic. I'm a Stowers guy. You got to talk to me. I like Stowers.
Godwin could be dust. I'll go Ken Walker here.
Okay.
So I know I'm a homer, but I think that like worst case scenario, Godwin's Jacoby Myers, like from a production standpoint. I don't think he's going to be outright dust
for sure at ADP.
Yeah, I think he's going to be fine, like 12 point per game.
But I also
yards,
could see a scenario as a McMillan guy where, as the season progresses, I could see McMillan play a bigger role. But overall, I'm indifferent. These two guys have opinions on both sides, so that tells you it's probably a fair trade. Down the board. We've got another trade question that came through here from Old McDonald. Superflex start 9. It's a 10 team.
Old McDonald.
Sending away Cook and Tyson for Genty. Let's just say Genty. Max Clare, we like him as a prospect. In a deal of this magnitude, he's a nothing burger. Are you sending away Genty for Cook and Jordan Tyson? I will just say quickly, for me, smaller league, 10 team, not a huge lineup. I'm going to put a premium on Genty and keep Genty here personally.
Yeah, give me Genty.
Yeah. The starting lineup is over the edge for me. I mean, 90 starters. The studs matter so much more.
Yeah.
I have Tyson, I think, close to 20 spots lower than anybody else on the site as well. I was lower on the prospect, so I'll take.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he's getting Genty here. I will say quarterback room isn't the best, but he would be starting, let's say, Ward and Darnold, but he's got Mendoza and Cousins there. Worst case scenario. Then he would start Gibbs, Genty, which is awesome one too.
Looks like he's just trying to get younger in general, I think, maybe with this move at running back. James Cook's 27 or 26 and a half years old or whatever.
Couple vets.
Relatively young team.
I think this is he's going to have, he already has no firsts. Yeah, okay. There's many moves that you can make with this team, but I'm fine to go get Genty. I was like, I can't dive into all the moves we'd probably make for a team like that, but, okay. I'm going to jump into some of these team reviews. Like I said, you boys are welcome to stay. No pressure. You can leave whenever.
I'm going to hop out here, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hop out too. I feel like it's too many cooks in the kitchen with team reviews. Sometimes it'll take us
good.
80 years to go through one.
Yeah. Be like an hour and we've done one team. Appreciate you boys hanging out.
Welcome to an FSE stream, brother.
I was going to say,
we didn't talk about the UFC, Bush. What's going on?
No, yeah. Danny will also interrupt me and just be like, yes, England just scored. Or something, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's soccer.
I was gonna say, doing team reviews, like it's hard to get through with two people, but when that one person can talk through an entire round making one pick in a redraft league, like I imagine.
I remember when Danny. So I had Danny on my stream for the first time a few weeks ago, and we picked. I purposely I was like, I'm gonna go at the 6th slot. So that we have, a good amount of time between picks, but we're not rushed to make 2 in a row, whatever. Yeah. And then literally like he was talking about the first pick the entire time until we got to the next pick. And then I had to like rush him with 10 seconds left because he was still talking about the previous pick every single time. It happened over and over again.
I watched
20-second clocks on Underdog.
Oh, my
Spicy
God.
is magic, bro, in the backseat. That guy's magic. The fact that we don't auto draft every single pick is a miracle.
This is why Danny's in like 50 slow drafts behind the scenes.
Yeah, I am too, but that's partially because he just drove to Buffalo across the border to get to the drafts, entered me into the contest while he was over there as well.
That's
and
hilarious.
then we were
find any way to get into a best ball draft. Boys, appreciate you hanging out. Obviously, Bush from FSC. You guys know Sammy from Sammy Stacks Fantasy. Make sure you go follow them on YouTube. But appreciate you, boys. And hop on whenever. Enjoy the rest of your nights.
Yeah, I'll see you next time Maria's on a writing retreat.
Sounds good.
Yeah, guys, this is rare. You don't normally see Bush after 9 p.m. All right, so
if you want to see me more, you need to pray on the downfall of my marriage, by the sounds of it, and then you will see me all the time.
It sounds like life is going to be at its best when Bush is not streaming. Okay, so we're gonna believe for that.
All right, have a good night, Zach.
Later.
Yeah.
See ya.
All right, let me get this monstrosity off the screen here. Okay, and we are here. All right, guys, appreciate you hanging out. I've got, these are redrafts reviews, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reviews. I'm gonna knock through here today. Get the queue all cleared up. Let me double check. We have all regular playbooks, so none are pro passes or priority passes or anything. So I'll start just from the top, and the first review we'll look at is from Unique One Unicorn. His team name is, my team is so good, so I have high expectations here. He is ranked number 1, and oh my gosh, looks like he might be living up to the hype here. It's a Superflex 12 team, only a start 8. So that means there's one flex spot outside of the Superflex. The flock site has you 6th at quarterback, but 1st at running back and receiver, and 3rd at tight end. Let's have a look at this team. He says, I feel like my team is solid, but I'm weak at quarterback and need depth at wide receiver. The 27th first I own should be a top 3 pick, so I'm hoping to fill one of those needs with that pick, but I don't know how to get more depth. Thanks for the advice. First off, dude, I got to be honest with you, Unique Unicorn. Let's keep it a buck. The last thing this team needs is more depth. All right? The last thing that you need is more depth, my guy. Think about this for a second. You're starting Caleb Williams, Purdy, Gibbs, Genty, Chase, Neighbors, Loveland, Love. On your bench, good sir, is Amarian Hampton, Roma Dunze, Ricky Pearsall, Justin Jefferson, Harold Fannin. You do not need any more depth, okay? Yeah, you can argue, if we want to pull hairs here, that you could get a quarterback 3, but I don't even think you need to upgrade a quarterback. Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy are more than enough for me to go into a season trusting those 2 names. So yeah, dude, you do not need more depth. That's not true. This is a God squad. All right. So we're gonna hold players like Roma Dunze, Harold Fannin in a format like this. Do you have tight end? There's a full point tight end premium, by the way, and you've got Loveland and Fannin. Come on, dude. This is like, you need to see what kind of squad you have here, dude. This is a God squad. This is an absolute superstar team. Okay. Looking at this team, players that you could drop if you needed to clear space include Sean Tucker. You can let go of him. You can let go of Tanner McKee if you wanted to. You could drop Dawson, actually full point premium, so we'll keep him. But Zach Ertz, you could drop. Badgett on the waiver wire. There is George Helani, Tolbert. There's not really much interesting, so you don't need to drop anyone because your waiver wire is quite naked there. But is this a Thanos? This is pretty close to a Thanos, to be honest. I don't know. Less than 1% of teams ever submitted have the Thanos tag. The only reason I might not go Thanos is because of the quarterback room. But again, it's not a bad quarterback room. Thanos is like the top 0.01% of teams. Let's ask the chat. It's either going to be Thanos or Juggernaut. Okay, and one is an A+, one is an A flat. I kind of lean more towards like a Juggernaut, but at the same time, when you have the RB 2, 3, 4, 5, when you have the wide receiver 2, 5, 6, when you have the tight end 3, 5, you make a pretty good case. But I think we only give that Thanos tag to, for me personally, the site defines it differently. Me personally, I only give that tag when, this team would have to have like a Josh Allen as well. So we are going to go Juggernaut, and we are going to give this an A flat. This is an incredible team. Most people will never have a team this good. So you should feel very, very good about having a team like this, okay? And it looks like the chat agrees with me. We're going to keep this to a Juggernaut. But, dude, what an absolute unit you are working with. You have that 27 first round pick. The thing is, I don't really want to tear up from Purdy or Caleb, to be honest. Like, I don't know where everybody in the chat sits, but I don't like the idea of having to tear up from those guys. I think you're fine with what you have. If you want to use that pick, like, could we combine the first and Harold Fannin? You know, because technically it's a full point premium. Fannin should be mega valuable in a format like this with a small lineup. So, you know, who has a tight end need here? The guy who has Lamar Jackson, right? Can we get Lamar Jackson and something small back like, let's call it Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is a small piece we get back in return there, right? Is that possible? That would probably put you into Thanos status. The Josh Allen owner has Sam Laporta, but I would do this for Josh Allen for sure. And again, keep in mind, guys, full point tight end premium here. Drake May, the guy has Warren, so he's unlikely to do a deal like that. You're not going to do it for Stroud. I doubt any of these guys have a name worth mentioning in a trade like this. So the other option is you remove Harold Fannin, and you're basically just looking for a startable quarterback 3. So a Jared Goff, a Dak Prescott, right? Who are some of the other names that come to mind? It's not a big list, but Goff, Prescott. Let's go to Dynasty real quick. Give me 1 second on the back end. Those are really my favorites. I guess you could say Jordan Love, but I don't really want to go get Jordan Love, but he's an option. Baker Mayfield isn't a terrible option either. But yeah, I don't really agree that you need a lot of help at depth. You just simply don't. Are any of these teams that are tight and needy, do any of them have like top tier receivers? Could you get Amon-Ra St. Brown? You just don't even need him. That's the thing. Like, you can only start so many players. I think you're fine the way it is, man. I think you're fine the way it is. So, yeah. Again, you can send that first for like a depth quarterback. I don't think you even need to make any moves right now. I think you can rock with this team into the season. Keep that first round pick. Have the flexibility of using it at your convenience if you need. If one of those quarterbacks go down, you've got 2 first round picks you can play around with to go get a startable name. But this team is like a lock to make the playoffs, a lock to probably be a 1 seed. You have the first from a team name called Balto, which, dude, why would you? Okay, please don't sell that first round pick. This is the team of the first round pick that he has. My guy. Yeah, okay, never mind. This 27 first, keep the pick. All right, that's my number one advice. My number one advice for you right now is don't make a move. You don't need to make a move. In fact, sometimes you guys in Dynasty, you know, we love trading. Sometimes we get too trade happy, and then we trade away, you know, some of the best assets on our team when we didn't really need to. This team has no needs. You have a first round pick from a team that might be the 101. There's no reason to sell that pick. If you want to, I would actually say it has to be like a Josh Allen level player. So appreciate you, my friend. You'll get your playbook here within the next 3 to 5 business days. But my best bit of advice is to not overthink this. Keep the team the way it is and ride into the season with what you've got. All right. Team review here from Zaddy Daddy. What is up? What is poppin'? What's happening? How we living? How we feeling? Team name is In Wilson We Trust. I'm guessing that's Zach Wilson. What other Wilson could that be? You are currently ranked 5th in your league, and this is a Superflex Start 10. So in a Superflex Start 10, we are at quarterback ranked 6th, 7th at running back, 2nd at receiver, and 6th at tight end. You said also have all 29 picks to use. Feel free, feel like it's time to go all in on running backs, but lack depth. Window is big, but how big? Help. Let's have a look. So we have no pick in 2027. So I'm just kind of noting that down right now. No first in 2027, no second in 2027. Untouchables on this team are your wide receivers. So Jackson Smith and Jigba, Malik Neighbors, for example. Players that I would want to hold. Sam Darnold, you probably need a quarterback 3 with Baker and Lawrence there. Definitely Jonathan Brooks. We love us some Jonathan Brooks as a hold. Quentin Johnston. I am very excited about him this year. And that's a great team you've got here. If you need to drop any names to clear some space, the players that I would be willing to drop, Robert Henry. I don't even know what team he plays for, to be honest with you. Johnny Wilson, you can drop. Jade Walker, Cavante Turpin, Corley, Burks, Vele. If you need to clear space, you can drop any of those names. Marlon Klein, I would rather roster than some of these names. And yeah, George Jelani, who I don't really have much expectations for, but at least he's actually rostered on a team with a role. Okay. So Garrett Wilson is the reason the team name is called In Wilson We Trust. But your starting lineup, my friend, you have a starting lineup of Lawrence, Baker, like that. Cook, no RB2. JSN, Neighbors, Kraft, Nico, Wilson, and then, yeah, so you're really missing RB2 and a flex. I guess your flex is Quentin Johnston. Man, without your first in 2027, it's a little bit of a tricky spot. First off, you've sold your first. This is a Windows open roster. You do need to go out there and try to compete. I'd probably put this team at like a B flat. A B flat feels pretty fair. I love. What do you guys think? Should we try to tear down from Neighbors or JSN? Because I think one of them, we should explore what that could look like. JSN's going to give you the biggest return. Neighbors might not be healthy to start the year. Let's see what sort of JSN deals might be out there. What I'd like to accomplish, because you have such a strength at receiver, is I'd like to go out there. See, I don't think you can send your 28 first and go and get like a... Okay, let's just play all scenarios for you. So if you can send your 27 first and get James Cook, like these are the type of things that I just don't think that this is actually possible. But let's say James Cook, Chase Brown, you know, this level of running back, Ken Walker, you know, sure, we can go all in this fashion. Shoot, Breece Hall even, like, sure, I'm fine to do that. He has James Cook, does he? Yeah, my bad, guys. So, like, but that level of player is what I'm trying to say. Jonathan Taylor, right? Sure, I'm fine to send your first. It's unlikely you're able to do that. That 28 first is not going to be as valuable right now as it will be in 2028. So our options are maybe to look at a tier down. So if we went from JSN, for example, okay, what do you guys think about this? We go from JSN, we get back Drake London plus one of these running backs, right? So Drake London plus Breece Hall, right? Like that's the type of deal I'm thinking. And maybe you send like your third there to get over the line, or like a future second. If not Brees Hall, Javonte Williams is not crazy. I don't want to undersell JSN though. Yeah, we have to be careful not to undersell. I'd probably ask for like Javonte and Travis Hunter as like a throw in there. So there will be options. I don't mind this at all. Let's see. Olave. I don't think you can pull off Chris Olave plus Jonathan Taylor, but that would be ideal. If you can't pull that off, Chris Olave plus Jadarian Price is not a terrible start. I don't think we're there. We're probably not matching value perfectly yet, but like if you were able to get, you know, Marvin Harrison here and you send like a future second or something, that might make more sense. That team is pretty stacked. Emeka would be awesome. I just don't think it's possible. Like, first off, if you can do something where you get like Emeka Egbuka plus 2 future firsts, that's not close, is it? Like something like that, and then the 2 firsts, you kind of have flexibility to play around and go get, you know, whatever positions you might need, running back, wide receiver. You can get a bunch of running backs there. Egbuka and Travion Henderson is interesting. I feel like I'm slightly short there, but if they could throw in like a Ricky Pearsall, maybe I'm there. JSN's going to net you the biggest return, which is why I'm exploring that avenue. Zay Flowers and Devon Achane. Zay Flowers plus Devon Achane. You're not going to get that straight up. You're going to have to give something in return. Does a second get that done? You know, a 28 second I think you have. I actually don't think you can really sell Neighbors right now. Just based off my experience, he's more of a buy than a sell, so I'm not going to look at a Neighbors deal now that I'm thinking this through. But I also don't mind going like Jacobs is so affordable right now. Same with Bucky. If you could pull off like a CD Lamb, you know, plus Bucky Irving type of move, and you send again like that 28 second, that also I would be very intrigued by. Josh Jacobs, and maybe you don't have to send the second, but instead it's like a third. You know, so there's plenty of avenues here. You actually have a lot of teams that I think are eligible trade partners, which is good. It's rare that you have this many teams that you could potentially trade with. Amon-Ra, Jaylen Warren is probably not enough. That's probably just underselling it. But yeah, that'd be my ideal goal for you, my friend. I mean, imagine, let's just say you pulled off one of these deals. I mean, in a dream world, you get, you know, you send your first for Chase Brown, and then you come back, and what's the most realistic one here? Let's say, like, I feel like London Javonte is pretty realistic. So you lose JSN in a first-round pick, but then your starting lineup in this world would become Lawrence, Baker, James Cook, Chase Brown, London, Neighbors, Kraft. You're flexing Nico, Wilson, and then your last flex is Javonte Williams. On your bench, Travis Hunter, Quentin Johnston, Jonathan Brooks. So I think because you've already spent your first round pick, you lose a little bit of flexibility here. And I think a lot of that improvement is going to have to probably come internally by getting quite creative. So, yeah, hopefully that's helpful, my friend. Appreciate you big time. Thanks for letting me look at the squad. And I like it. And I hope that that was helpful, my friend. All right, let's go to JC Good 17 here next. Appreciate everybody who's here hanging out. My goal is to clear this queue of all Dynasty team reviews. Okay, so you're currently ranked 3rd on the site. They've got you 3rd at quarterback, 10th at running back, 2nd at receiver, and 7th at tight end. It's a 1 quarterback start 9. So we're rocking with a 1 quarterback start 9 here. Okay. He says, I'm stuck in between competing and rebuilding. I made some trades to get some picks a few weeks ago, but looking back, probably should have went in the other way and tried to compete. Not sure what to do. Orphan team who finished lower 4 last year. Tired of being down there with no direction. Okay. All right, let's have a look. So you've got all your picks in 2027. I'm going to assume because it's MFL, they don't show 2028, but I'm going to assume you get that done. What's up, Papa? How many reviews are in the queue? Right now, 1, 2, 3 left. These are redraft focused at the top there. So I'm not going to look at the redraft ones today. Okay, so when I look at this team, you know, obviously Josh Allen isn't untouchable by definition. You don't really have another one. Drake London would be the closest second. Players that I'd like to hold on a team like this, Jonah Coleman for sure. Blake Corum come to mind. A lot of these receivers like Elijah Surratt, Ted Hurst, these are fun holds. Players that you could drop. You got plenty. Dude, I can't believe Cam Akers is rostered in a Dynasty League still. You can punt him into the moon. Oh my gosh. I've got so many options to choose from. Look, I'll keep it simple. All of the players from Luke McCaffrey down can be dropped at receiver pretty comfortably. All of the running backs from Jerome Ford down can be dropped comfortably. Browning and Curtis Rourke can be dropped. And Troutman, Conklin, Shoemaker. But I imagine the waiver wire is completely naked, and it is because your league rosters a ton of players. So it's not like the waiver wire is interesting. So it makes sense why some of those bad players are being rostered. Okay. Let's look at the lineup. It's 1 quarterback start 9. So we are starting Josh Allen, Scattaboo, Coleman, London, McMillan, Tate, Kraft, Flowers, Downs. Not the worst team. Not the worst team. Now, you do not have a ton of draft capital to play around here with. What we do have is some seconds, which I would hope to turn into vets. Yeah, this is very much middle of the pack as a team. I would consider you a sleeper. There's a couple moves that we can potentially make here. I would give you a C+ as a team grade here. The running back room is quite weak. There's a lot of unproven on this team. But I think this team can make the playoffs if you're able to turn some of those seconds into some veterans. So we could really use help at running back. So I think of some of those veterans like DeAndre Swift here. Typically I wouldn't, but with your team, David Montgomery comes to mind as well. Derrick Henry, obviously, is a name that you could target. Who else with these seconds? Man, could you send could you send 2/3 for like Rashad White? You know, like that level of running back. Yeah, Josh Jacobs is a good shout. Jacobs is probably going to cost you a second and a third if you're going to get him that cheap. The hard part, 50 cal, is we can look at tearing down from a Josh Allen, but it's a one quarterback league, so it's probably not going to carry a ton of weight. Going back to like the third, I feel like J.K. Dobbins is kind of like in that range of like a third, you know. You know who else probably I'd be willing to do this for is Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren comes to mind. A third for J.K., a third for like Ramondre Stevenson. This is kind of the range. And then the last Hail Mary for a third is probably like Jordan Mason, right? So that's running backs. Receivers, you know, all my favorite vets that I've talked about all offseason, like Mike Evans, you know, come to mind. Devontae Adams is always in that list until he falls off a cliff, which you have to be okay with that being a possibility. You're not going to get Waddle. I don't think you can get Addison. Like, Christian Watson is interesting, but you might have to do like a third on top or multiple seconds for him. Michael Pittman might actually be realistic here. Terry McLaurin is a great shout. DJ Moore is going to cost too much here, but he'd be a great option. So those are some great names. Like, let's just say I think McLaurin's really realistic for a second, and I would say like Montgomery is super realistic. If you're able to add Terry and Montgomery to this team, you have a lineup then of Allen, Scatterbo, Montgomery, London, McMillan, Kraft, Terry, Tate, Flowers. Okay? On your bench, Coleman, Corum, Downs. That gives you a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, and it doesn't destroy your ability to be flexible in season because you keep your 27 first. If you need to rebuild, sell off a bunch of these great assets, you keep that flexibility. So that's the game plan I would have for you. JC Good. Again, I would not, with the team being at the position it's in right now, send that first round pick away, but would be more than comfortable sending those seconds away, if the right deal is on the table. Okay, let's get to Ford Jake here. What's happening, my brother? Let me know if, by the way, if anybody is getting their team reviewed and you're watching in the live stream, feel free to let me know. I try to do my best to look at the chat when I'm doing these streams, when I'm doing these reviews, rather. Sorry. Okay. This is a Superflex 10-team start 9. That's what we're looking at here. At quarterback, they've got you ranked 7th. First at receiver and tight end, though. He says, hey, this is an orphan team I grabbed. They lost a guy right after the draft, so didn't get to be the guy to draft the team. First look at the team. What are some moves you would make? Maybe advise on moves if I wanted to contend now versus not contend this season. All right, so coming out of a startup, I imagine trades are going to be much more difficult. Obviously, Lamar Jackson is going to be an untouchable along with Puka Nacua. Hey, the fact that this guy, it looks like he kept all of his picks and he still walked away with Puka Nacua, Lamar Jackson. He's done pretty well coming out of the startup, to be honest with you. Players that I would hold, Ty Simpson. I'm realizing, oh wait, he's got Matthew Stafford. Yeah, this guy's drafted really well for you, man. Travis Hunter, another hold. Jordan Addison. Wait, yeah, I just saw Trey McBride too. That's crazy. Wow, this guy's done one hell of a job drafting for you, dude. Players that you can drop if you need to. Devon Vele, you can punt into the sun with the Tyson pick. The next drop for me would be between like Devin Neal and A.O. Manor, but you don't need to drop those guys if the waiver wire is naked. But the waiver wire's got some juice here. I would definitely pick up Terrence Ferguson there. And I do like Talon Green as a fun stash as well. Doesn't look like... I should probably completely remove Joe Mixon from my rankings now. We got the report that he told his teammates, I think, that he's never playing again. So let me look at Mixon and just... I'm going to punt him all the way down into the hundreds, probably. Give me 1 second, sorry. Sorry, guys. I have to quickly announce something on Discord before it gets too late into the night. This won't take more than a second. We had like a huge amount of updates on the cheat sheet on my 2026 draft guide. So, and I keep forgetting to let people know the updates that I've made. So I'm putting out one big update now. I honestly can't even remember all the updates that we've made. But, sorry guys, one moment. This won't be long. It's just so hard to keep up because nowadays with technology, I mean, we can do like 5 updates to our tool in like one day and completely forget to tell you guys. Apologies. Okay. All right. David says turns on Discord notifications. Trenton, this is you, right? Yeah, dude. This is honestly such a good startup. Whoever did this for you, they've done really well. Okay, again, think about that starting lineup. You're starting Jackson, and it's actually Stafford you would be starting there. So it's Jackson, Stafford, Henderson, Judkins, Puka, Bird, and McBride. That's just crazy. Tyson, Jamo, Addison. And it's only a start 9, too. I don't know how you can do much better in a startup, truthfully. I don't know how someone could do much better in a startup. This is great. In fact, I very rarely give a team... I very rarely give a team over a C range coming out of a startup. But I have to say, with this team, I think we're going to call you a sleeper right now. Actually, I'm going to call you a contender. I think you can contend coming out of a startup. And I'm going to give you a B- for this one. Like, this is an impressive team coming out of a startup. Oh, okay. No worries, Trenton. That's not you. But dude, super impressive. Let's go to the chalkboard because I don't really imagine I'm going to make many moves right now before the season. I feel like this is a team that you take into the year. I mean, you don't really have a lot of holes on this squad. Right? I mean, Lamar Stafford, again, you could use a RB3 potentially. Okay, the one move I would potentially be interested in fleshing out is Michael Wilson, moving him for a running back equivalent. So let's go look at Dynasty Superflex consensus rankings, and we're going to find Michael Wilson. Running backs equivalent. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Like a DeAndre Swift. I know you already have Kyle Monangai. I'm still fine to do that. Derrick Henry, kind of coming off the back end of his career, could break down any day. Josh Jacobs. Some of these are shooting too high. Some of them I'm going to be shooting too low. I just want to give you like a range. This is the top end of the range here. Swift is probably the most likely. ETM probably the most unlikely. Let's give you super realistic names here, though, now. So if it's not those guys, then, yeah, like David Montgomery is very realistic. I don't really want to tell you to go too low, though. I mean, Jalen Warren kind of feels wrong, but that's probably the bottom end of the range. But look, I think if you're able to turn this into like a Jacobs, that's super ideal. Then you have your RB3 being Jacobs. You aren't starting Wilson anyway. But dude, I would probably ride this team as is into the season. Then if you're in the season and Stafford's still playing at an MVP level and Burden's broken out and Tyson's reliable each week and J-Mo are reliable each week, Henderson's reliable. Like if all these guys are reliable, then in season we can, turn that 27 first, into whatever you're missing, whatever you're lacking. Right? So right now, no matter what, I am seeing if I can trade Michael Wilson for one of those running backs. But in season, who's a veteran running back / wide receiver? Okay. You're not going to need quarterback or tight end. But in season, if you're like, okay, Judkins is performing well, but Henderson is not, I have a deal on the table right now where I can go get Chase Brown for the first, Breece Hall for the first. That's how I would play this. Or Saquon is back in form, or Cam Scatterbo looks good. I think holding for flexibility is ideal because the opposite side of this world is Stafford regresses majorly. Henderson and Judkins aren't ready yet. J-Mo's inconsistent. Hunter's a nothing burger. Tyson and Burden aren't ready. So I think the best part about this team is it's young, it's really well drafted, and there's a ton of flexibility no matter what happens in season. But I lean towards being a competitor, and overall, I hope that is helpful, man. And whoever drafted that team for you, send them a message. Just say, hey, dude, thanks. This is a great startup team. Okay. Nubinator. Is Nubinator in the chat? Let me know if you're here amongst us. What time is it in New York right now, by the way? It's 10:30 almost. Let me just quickly see. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Okay. Did anybody get tagged on Discord just now? I don't know if my tag is working. Did anybody get tagged? You guys got tagged? Okay. Cool. Yeah, again, I apologize, guys. I haven't been able to update every time we do an update because we update so often with the draft guide now. I mean, in the past, what would happen is, if you guys remember, even just last year, when I dropped the draft guide, it was a PDF, you know? So it's like all these changes are super manual. And let's look back at what we had last year. Like, we did well, right? Our draft guide last year was great. Super, super good draft guide. But it was like this traditional PDF. And all that was fine. Like, it was really good for the day and just really well made. But nowadays, the draft guide is, I mean, I'll update it basically every day. Sometimes it's with a new feature. Sometimes it's updating projections, rankings. So definitely log into that. And I've got player takes over there. A lot of you guys will know that by now. My guys aren't out yet. My 2026 strategy video dropped today, which I am super proud of. Shout out to the entire team putting that together. Never spent more time and effort on researching a video than I did this one. Now, what's awesome is all of the research from that strategy video is available in the draft guide. And you will see just the insane levels of research I've done for you guys this year. I mean, I have never put this much effort into a single video, but it matters a lot to me. So that's all there now with that update. My research tab has other research I've done, like the hot start, which I'll need to make sure that gets on there. The running backs are trending up project, the vacated targets tool, the projections. Obviously, the cheat sheet is the big one. Cool part, and this, guys, the cheat sheet is for redraft leagues. It's not a dynasty tool, but that's why I was showing you guys landleagues.com/ADP, the draft board feature we have where you can track ADP in real time, right? But this is built for redraft leagues. Anyway, one of the cool things that we added this time around was that the draft guide actually follows my strategy. It helps you kind of pursue the strategy if you want. So I've added the draft board feature here as well, where like when players are taken, you can see them gone visually. You can sort by the platform ADP, Land Leagues ADP, my rankings. If you're on Yahoo, ESPN, Sleeper, CBS. Anyway, it's just, I want to give a huge shout out to Kate, who's our designer. Her and I work on a daily basis together to make these things come to life. So anyway, that's a huge update for you guys. Go check it out. And if you ever find something that you're like, ooh, I think this needs to be improved or this could change, or just send me a DM. I mean, a simple DM is how even on like landleagues.com, a simple DM is why the draft board feature now exists. So anyway, okay, let's jump into Nubinator. Is Nubinator in the chat? Is Nubinator here in the chat? Let me know. Okay, Nubinator's here. I see all of y'all in the chat, by the way. Thanks, Jonah. Very kind. Appreciate you guys. Let's get to Nubinator here. Okay. Bozos in London is the team name. I'm going to guess we have Bo Nix and Drake London on the team. You are ranked first. The site has you ranked first at quarterback, seventh at receiver, seventh at running back, second receiver, second at tight end. It's a Dynasty Superflex 10-team start 9. Okay. Let's have a geese, shall we? Hey, Zach, my team's number 1 in points for entering its 3rd season, but I'm struggling to get my first chip. I think I need to trade for an RB1. Thank you and keep up the great content. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for letting me look at the squad. Wow. This is a great team, man. Great team. Is there any tight end premium in this one, too? No tight end premium, that's fine. McBride is still a big difference maker in a format that, only has 10 teams. But love those top-end untouchables like the McBrides, Amon-Ra's, Burrows. Players I would hold on this team, Rome Odunze comes to mind. Unless you can pivot to the Pickens range, London for a small upgrade. Tank Bigsby, I think, is one of the best handcuffs in Dynasty/fantasy football right now, so he would be a hold for me. Jalen Coker, and let's also go Chigakonkwo. I know you're watching my content if you've got Chigakonkwo. Stash is a tight end in Dynasty. Players that you can drop. You can clear off a lot of space here. Kendre Miller. I don't know where the rest, maybe the chat can tell me if I'm crazy, but I feel like Tyreek Hill is a droppable name at this point. Oh my goodness, look at that waiver wire. Demond Claiborne, sorry. Go pick up Claiborne. Go pick up Max Clare. Yeah, I am dropping Kendre and Tyreek pretty much today to pick up Demond Claiborne and Max Clare. I'm doing that pretty much straight away. You could drop more of those guys if you wanted, but okay, so we are starting Burrow, Herbert, or Nix. It's a good quarterback room. Henderson, Chuba, I guess. Pollard's a Band-Aid. Monongai's a Band-Aid. Amon-Ra, London, McBride. And remember, start 9, so we only have 2 flex spots between Rice and all those other receivers that you have. Yeah, I have a pretty clear picture on what I want to do with this team. I instantly kind of know exactly what I would like to do. But I'm going to give you a grade of a contender status. We can definitely contend with this team, and I'm going to give you a B+. I think you're in a very good position. What I would like to accomplish is Michael Wilson is a piece that we can move. Ideally, we want to pivot to a running back. We actually just talked about that in the team, so we'll bring over some of those recommendations we had for Jake. So we'll talk about some of those ideas. And I also believe that you could afford to move, depending on how Rome Odunze is valued in your league. If you can turn him into a really good running back, it might be worth your time too, because you have the depth to pull something like that off. These are the main moves I would be considering. So again, if we can turn Michael Wilson into one of these names, awesome. Perfect, right? For you, I might shoot higher because you have more flexibility. You can attach Michael Wilson in a 3rd to try and get the Jacobs. Michael Wilson in a 3rd to try and get the Henrys, right? Michael Wilson and a 2nd for Travis Etienne and a 3rd. These type of deals you can afford to do. But if you're able to, let's just say you get Swift or Jacobs, that automatically puts your RB2 in a better spot, and you still have enough receivers where you're not worried about your flex spots there. If you want to keep all those names and you don't really want to move Michael Wilson, you can try and move a 2nd for some of those veterans. However, what I'm really intrigued about is if I moved Rome Odunze, what is the level of receiver I could expect back in return, or running back, excuse me. So like right now, according to Flock consensus rankings, like a Jadarian Price, to me, no brainer. Brees Hall, no brainer. Quinshawn Judkins, no brainer. You already have Travion, right? Like all those are just, I'm not even thinking twice about them. Shoot, even Chase Brown. Now, you might be asking some questions when you get to like the Cam Scattaboo range. What does the Scattaboo owner have? Scattaboo, okay. I mean, there's not a lot of, I'm not really like desperately trying to make a move for some of these names. I mean, could you do something crazy here where you send like Rome Odunze plus... Do you have 2 seconds or 1? You have 1. But what if you did like 2 seconds and one of them was your 28 first and you got Cam and Javonte? Like that's, that's a little wild. That's a little out there. I mean, Travis Etienne is there, so you could also try and get Travis Etienne. He's going to be cheaper and only send 1 second. But yeah, this one move, you wouldn't really need to make any other moves again this offseason if you're able to pull off either of those moves. But I don't even mind if you pull off 2 of these moves, like you move Michael Wilson and Rome. Because think about it. Let's just say like Rome gets you, what's realistic? Like, okay, so Rome gets you Chase Brown. Michael Wilson gives you, what do we say, like Swift? If you just do those 2 moves, your starting lineup turns to Burrow, Herbert, or Nix. Then you're probably starting Swift, Chase Brown, actually. Amon-Ra, London, McBride, Rice, and then your last flex might be Henderson. And then whatever lemon is fine. You've got depth there with Alec Pierce, Jalen Coker. You still have your first. You haven't spent any first, so you have flexibility there to send them in season if you need to upgrade or to get that, if injuries occur, to replace from injured players. So that's the game plan I would have for you, my friend. Let me know if I haven't answered any questions that you may have. Nubinator, hit me up right now in the chat. This is your time to shine. I want to make sure you feel good about the review that you just got. But I appreciate you big time, my friend, for being here, hanging out with me. Let me look at the team. It's always an honor. Seriously. I know I've done a lot of reviews, guys, but I do mean that. Anytime someone becomes a member or, decides that they think my time is worth, their compensation to support the channel, it is an honor. But I appreciate you big time. He says W review, bro. Awesome. Great to hear it. Okay, Papa Dunk. I know you're in the chat, Papa. I'm not calling you Papa, all right, because I only have one Papa. But Papa Dunk is in the chat. The Fannin Menace is the team name. You're currently ranked 4th in this league. The site has you 2nd at quarterback, 6th running back, 8th at receiver, and 4th at tight end. It is a Superflex 10-team start 10 with a 0.5 tight end premium. And he says half PPR with the premium on tight ends. Okay, so it's half PPR. Running out of trade ideas and could potentially use a second perspective on a good plan of attack for the next 1 to 3 years. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so we've got a really good quarterback room. Jaden Daniels is an untouchable for us. Closest thing after that would be CeeDee Lamb, but I am open to trading CeeDee Lamb if the right deal is out there. Malik Willis, I would say, is a strong hold considering Mahomes coming back from the ACL. Not only when will he start, but also like when will he be good for fantasy again, right? That's the question we have to ask. Jonathan Brooks, I'm going to have Jonathan Brooks as a hold. Jaden Higgins is a really strong hold coming into year 2. And Dazon Stribling is a guy that we've been openly drafting in like the late second of rookie drafts this year. He hasn't had any negative press. I know that like positive press doesn't mean anything, but it's been nice to see like no negative press. You can drop Calvin Ridley if you want to. You can drop Jahan Dotson if you wanted to. On the waiver wire, I mean, look, I got to be honest, as a Jonathan Taylor owner, I do think you need to roster Giddens. Like, not having Giddens because of Ridley or Dotson is a mistake, I think. But also, like, Keenan Allen is there. Tez Johnson's produced at some point. I might roster Keenan Allen over a Dotson or like those names I talked about, and just wait to see if he ends up having a role or signs with the team. If he doesn't, you can drop him pretty easily. But again, lineup is Daniels, Mahomes, Bucky, Taylor, Lamb, Burden, Fannin, and then you're flexing 3 names, which would probably be Jalen Warren, Watson, and Pitts in this premium. It's not a bad team. It is a little bit middle of the pack, but you have a lot of like names I could see carrying you on a weekly basis, like the Daniels, Taylor, Lamb, Fannin. While the depth is a little bit shaky, I would probably try to contend if I had this team and I was looking at it kind of objectively. So we're going to give you that contender status. I think we're probably going to try and go veteran routes here to add with those seconds rather than spending on the firsts. And I'd give you a B- grade overall. So, it's going to be a lot of the names that we've discussed today. Actually, a lot of you guys have a similar game plan. And that's simply because I prefer to keep the flexibility, with a lot of these teams rather than going out there and sending my first preemptively. So like, for example, if we're trying to go out there and get a additional running back to say, who knows what Bucky Irving's going to be? Brooks, we don't know he's going to be. Let's add one more. It would be this group of like Swift, Monty, Henry, Warren. Now you already have Warren, so we'll remove him. I would also say like Josh Jacobs is probably a decent bet for you to make as well. And I don't mind if it takes like a third on top if someone's willing to sell him. This is just going to give you a little more flexibility at RB2 in your flex spots. There's a scenario here where if all your running backs hit, you could flex all running backs, but gives you a little more wiggle room while not sacrificing your future flexibility with that first round pick. We don't want to sell that first. In season, sure. If you're like, hey, I think I'm one piece away, then in season, it's a different story, right? We would be fine to make that move. And then when we look at the wide receiver spot, it would be this group of names here again. I really like Terry and Mike when you're looking at adding vet receivers. But even if you just made one of these moves, I think these are the most realistic, the ones that I'm highlighting, Monty, Evans, and McLaurin. Let's say you got Mike Evans. Okay, then your lineup goes to Daniels, Mahomes, Taylor, Bucky, Lamb, Evans, Fannin. Then you're flexing Burden, Watson, and that last flex is a little like Jalen Warren, for example, right? Then whatever Brooks becomes, Pollard, Mason, Higgins, Pitts, like those are bonuses at that point. One more thing I will explore is a Kyle Pitts or a Harold Fannin move. Let's say Kyle Pitts for now. Is there a tight end needy team where we could get something we like a lot in return? Like, can you turn Kyle Pitts in this premium into like Mekhi Lemon? Is that crazy? That might be crazy. That might have to be actually Harold Fannin instead. That doesn't help you compete this year, but I just like that, adding a piece like that. I do really like the idea of like a fan in a Rice swap. I don't mind the idea of a fan in Quinshon Judkins swap. This guy desperately needs a tight end. I mean, could you net? You can't get Igbuka, let's be realistic, but Henderson in a tight end premium, I'm not going to limit you. Like, this is probably not possible, but Hendo would be a nice addition there. That guy's got Bowers, Laporta, McBride, Warren. But that would probably be the game plan. I wouldn't be focused on selling these tight ends unless these names are possible. Like, I'm not giving you an objective to go out there and like, hey, you need to sell one of these tight ends. No, you don't need to in a tight end premium. Completely fine to play them in your flex or alternate based off the schedule. Again, my route ideally would be just spending one of your second round pick on one of these names. Papa Dunk says, I'll take the B-. Jacobs is the most aggressive contending team, unfortunately. That's okay. Is Burden to sell high? No, I don't think so. Burden is someone that in redraft, I'm a little bit worried about how high his ADP is compared to like a Rome. But he's just one of those guys where I just have such a conviction on the player. Now, I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. But I have such a conviction on the player, Luther Burden, that I'm just not going to find myself selling him much. In fact, the video I made was just like a month ago. I would overpay for these players, right? Like, he's the poster boy of that. Y'all know I love me some Luther Burden. That's just not a player I'm going to be moving off my teams, for better or worse. But if you wanted to sell high on him and cash in, like, I get it. You know, if someone is willing to give you an Igbuka, you know, it makes sense. But let me know if there's anything that I didn't cover. I appreciate you big time as always, Papa Dunk. You know that. And in general, that's going to be the close once I hear from Papa Dunk here. Last thing I'll say, guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, go watch my strategy video, which dropped today. Okay. This is the video where in back-to-back years, it hit 240, 520,000 views last year. This is the third year in a row. High expectations. I feel as if I did everything I can to deliver for y'all. I'll put that link in the chat in case you haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Go check out the draft guide. Go to the Flock site. Go to posts. You'll see my draft guide for 2026. Again, that's redraft focused, but appreciate you guys as always, and nothing but love. We'll see you soon.